Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Scratchy Chin broadcast where me, Robbie Trickett, scratches his chin before the
I'll join in and so you don't feel so bad about the
Thank you, Adam.
chin scratching. It's
We'll
okay,
scratch you the chin together. Of course, we are here after that first set between Josh and Brian to witness the second set of the day, which I do believe will be Max versus Luke. Now, this is going to be one of the more interesting sets of the day. If I am to believe that, we're already going to be jumping in here, Adam, but we've talked a lot about these two players, and it should be pretty hot.
It should absolutely be, as they say, lit. I am quite looking forward to it. I'm surprised. I'm surprised you didn't say it's going to be blazing.
It's going to be a barn burner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So who are we expecting to see? Oh,
well,
no.
obviously, both of the characters are already locked in. We have Daniel Medvedev for Luke here, and John Isner for not Brian, Max. There we go. Max circled.
I thought Isner was a character that they were. They had the gentleman's agreement about not picking. Oh, there we go. The last second change from Max.
Was this the character that Max was playing yesterday?
No.
To confirm, Josh is Medvedev and Ollie is Francis.
Right, my mistake. I have made a grave error here, ladies and gentlemen. We have in fact got the third quarterfinal match, not between Max and Luke, but instead between our other pairing of the day. That being, of course, the
Josh and Oliver.
Josh and Oliver, that's the one. Thank you. I was just about to say that, Adam.
I know.
Yeah.
I just thought I'd get in there first. But that was a nice drop shot to start off, to start things off. Oh, forcing him around the court right from the get-go. Josh
starting off strong, as you said. Josh is here on Medvedev, and TFO is Oliver Medley. For confirmation for you, ladies and gentlemen, so that means that Oliver will be playing on your Staffs 2 account at the top side of your UI at the moment. Meanwhile, we have Joshua Griffin on this bottom side. And, well, speaking of Josh, he's going to hit it straight into the net to tie up the game 15-15.
Some more fantastic net play from Josh there. I think the point though is to get it over the net though, Robbie. Oh, nice. Was that an ace?
Beautiful serve. It was. Actually, no. Apparently, the ref calls out. It's going to be a second service here for Josh, but he's going to be just fine with that. Rally has begun. Pretty back and forth between these two players, but once again, Josh seems to be playing football because that was a goal.
I would have challenged that serve. That serve looked in. So that's a bit of a disappointment because that was an absolute stormer of a serve. That was a very nice. See, I almost thought that was out, but no, that was in. So
right on the line there, yeah. But a beautiful return from Oliver is going to prevent that from being an ace. Now the rally continues. Josh is really being given the runaround here. Comes a little bit too close up and to the right. And of course, it's just going to get knocked onto the other side of the court, tying up once again the score, 30-30.
Yeah, I think the timing on that one was a bit late. You saw that his character slipped slightly. So if you input something a bit too late, the ball can go a tiny bit wild.
Another near ace serve here from Josh, but a beautiful return from his opponent. Going to keep him in the game, and once again, baiting Joshua over towards the top right corner and then punting it over onto the left-hand side. Looks like Oliver has Josh's number pegged so far. Josh really does need to change up this strategy, but an underhand serve there from him.
An underhand serve that didn't go quite so well either.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate.
Second service on the mark, though, and the rally, once again, will continue up here. Josh, this time in a bit more of a driver's position, giving Oliver the runaround. Over onto the left-hand corner, it goes right up into the net. Are both of these players? The volley isn't quite going to pay off. Medvedev hits it into the doubles lines, and it's going to tie us up to deuce.
Yeah, really unfortunate there. That volley. Normally the volleys are much easier to time to get those nice perfects, but just a little bit late on that one.
onto the first deuce of the match now. These two players, once again, as a reminder, ladies and gentlemen, one of these two players has to find 2 points in a row now in order to secure the game, and has to clear by 2 games to get 3 games and win the set. 1 point now needed for Medvedev. Josh playing a very good game here, just keeping the ball pretty much exactly where he wants it. Moment, neither player really having to run around, but TFO is going to hit it into the net, and that is going to secure game number 1 for Josh.
Very close game. Obviously, Josh has the slight advantage being the server, but bringing the first game to deuce advantage. So I think this might be a close game if Oliver gets his serves nice and powerful.
Absolutely. Both of these players seem very close in skill, making sure to keep the game pretty much tied up the entire time. Medvedev, though, bringing TFO close up to the net so he can hit it behind him over onto the right-hand side. It's going to be a very good way to start up the second game for the man with the lead.
I'm liking how Oliver, though, is changing his position when he serves, not keeping it the same each round.
Continuing on to a slow-moving volley at the moment. These two players don't particularly want to play it fast. TFO is going to be playing it loose and challenging it square outside.
I respect it. That was definitely in. I mean, Robbie, you can't even say anything. That was 100% in. Like,
of course.
You can see why he challenged that.
It was 100% in the doubles line. You're correct.
Yeah, if they were playing doubles, that was definitely in, right?
Yeah, you just need to add 2 more one-bodies to the pitch and you'll be just fine. Unfortunately, though, second serve here for TFO. Got to find his swing. Still no double faults to speak of so far. And already, the melee has ensued. Both players keeping it relatively slow still. Not really many fast balls, but TFO is coming right up close to the net. Once again, getting aggressive. Not going to get a chance to volley it back, though. Medvedev's going to find net.
Yeah, a couple of these drop shots I don't think are working out for either of these guys. They are the hardest, I think, shots to sort of get the nice timings for, but obviously very punishing if you do manage to get them.
For sure, and both players playing up against the net here is going to leave TFO with not much space to react, as Medvedev once again secures another close-up and personal shot to the back of the court. And with him being too far up, TFO not quite able to find his racket to it. And once again, back to this slow game that these two players like to play. Even then, you see Josh charging up a more powerful shot, but just lets it drop onto the front of the court. TFO is able to find another point, though, and he's going to creep ever so closer to that second deuce.
Yeah, definitely don't want to have your serve broken. See, as we've talked about, the serve is pretty important. Gives you a nice advantage. Also, if they follow Brian's strategy and get all those nice aces, then makes the game a little bit easier. But as you said, bringing it to a deuce.
Second game out of 2 that's going to be going to this tiebreaker point. TFO starting it a little rough, gets that first fault. Second serve now should be on the mark. There it is. Nice return from Medvedev. Josh playing this pretty confidently, moving up closer towards the net, trying to give him the run around, but TFO is able to parry it. 1 more point needed, and luckily for Medvedev, it's not going to even be him needing to secure the point. However, TFO is going to hit it into those doubles line, and that should be game number 2, but never mind. I'm not sure what happened there. Advantage is still in favor of Medvedev. No point granted from the doubles line landing, but once again, history will repeat itself. Doubles line once again for TFO, and that is going to bring the game to 2-0.
Yeah, I think Oliver's just hitting these shots just a tad bit late. So he just needs to react a little bit quicker in order to maybe get some of those better shots in.
Medvedev now in a very controlling position. over the game. However, drops it high. TFO brings it in with the parry, hits it straight down onto the court. Medvedev, no time to react. And now TFO sits at 15 love. Underarm service there from Medvedev, trying to keep it safe. He doesn't want to lose that first serve, but is going to be hitting it back into the net. Apparently, he's an avid user of the internet.
I'm liking these volleys from, these lobs from Oliver to slow down the game a little bit, and I actually think it's throwing Josh's timings off a little bit.
Potentially, yeah. It is really keeping it slow, which is, as we've seen, the pace that these two players really want to play. Nothing but lobs here from Oliver. Gonna be creeping up ever closer to the net whilst they're dropping from the sky. And it's working out for him so well. Love 40 for the server. Medvedev in a rough position. Still 2 games up though, only needs to find 1 to win. But if there was a tipping point for this set, it would be right here, right now.
Could have got a nice clean game there, but unfortunately messes up. But those lobs allow him to just push forward really quick. And he definitely feels, I think, more confident trying to go for those volleys rather than the long rallies, Oliver. But we'll have to see.
Pressure, I think, is the name of the game from Oliver. He likes to build it up, keeping it slow to begin with, and then using those lobs to secure a little bit more space. Drops it all the way into the back of the court, though, past that back line. So Medvedev only sitting 1 point away from tying up this game and bringing it to the 3rd deuce of the match so far. Out of how many games, Adam?
Out of all 3.
So that would be 100% deuces.
100%. We'll have to see if it happens though. Oh, he goes for the lob into the volley, into a reverse volley. Yeah.
Challenges coming through, but not quite. Unfortunately, that is going to be securely into the doubles line, and through a fault of his own, TFO is unable to secure this first game for himself and brings it back to deuce for the 3rd time so far. Now, one of these 2 players has to find 2 in a row. Medvedev up to a good start.
Do you think these 2 guys have a pact to say that each game has to go to a deuce? Do you think?
It would look like it. It looks like it.
But I really want to ask whoever interviews either one of these guys why they keep doing underhand serves. I mean, it's working, but it's questionable.
It's potentially a point of confusion for the enemy player. Not really a regular strategy, as you said, as we've discussed pretty much all day and all day yesterday. Those aces can really provide a big advantage. So giving it up to try and go for something a little bit safer is a bit unusual. So potentially looking to catch his foe off guard is Medvedev, but does secure set number 1 for himself so far. So looking for set number 2, TFO has to come back with a reverse sweep.
Absolutely, and it's definitely doable. Like these games, all of them so far have gone to deuces. So it's very likely that he just needs to inch just a little bit further and get those wins, just like there.
Just like there, but we could see history repeat itself here, Adam. TFO.
We absolutely can. We could see a 100% rate.
Absolutely. He was just 3 points up, sitting love 40 on Medvedev's serve. Maybe now that it's his serve, he has a little bit more of an advantage. Medvedev still giving each other the runaround. Lets that one go. Hits squarely into the doubles lines. I'm sure that Oliver must be used to playing with another body on the court because he's loving this extra space.
Yeah, it's just his timings. He's just hitting them a bit too late and then putting too much control or angle on the ball, and it just forces it straight out. Very lucky there for Josh to get that in on a too late hit as well.
Nice backhand. That doesn't look like TFO could quite react in time, and now we are once again tied up. Adam, 2 points away from deuce potentially, but Medvedev could win 2 in a row here and secure the game.
Another
Either one of
underhand
these players just needs 2 points to win. TFO on the cusp of his first game of the match. Can he secure it, or will we see the fourth game go to deuce as well?
I think I'm pretty certain these guys have a pact at this point where it's going to go to deuce, Robbie. It's going to happen.
It's looking likely, especially with a shot like that moving right up close to the net. TFO drops the point and drops the game so far, but, well, not necessarily drops the game, drops his advantage at the game at the very least. At this point, ladies and gents, I feel it's a little unnecessary to remind you that either one of these players now has to hit 2 wins in a row to be able to secure this game. And once again, coming right up close to the net, TFO pots it into the right-hand side of the court. And, Medvedev pots it right into the right-hand side of the court, and TFO doesn't have an answer for it. Now sitting 1 point away from first game in this set.
Yeah, these they're coming really close to the net, but then they just go for drop shots. I want to see a nice lob to kind of mix things up a bit. But the almost Wii Sports like just tap A kind of really quickly, try to just go. No, you have it. No, you have it.
Tying back up the deuce. Deuce 2, the first time we've seen a second deuce in one game. So even more deuce for us here on the desk, Adam. TFO misses the first serve. Gonna have to go into that second service. Is gonna call the umpire on it, but umpire says nope, definitely still out. Out of challenges now is TFO for this set at the very least.
No, I think it's reset, Robbie, because I don't think he's had 3 challenges. He had, I think he ran out in the last set, but they do reset. So I think he's got 2 more.
It said on the UI that he didn't have any left, unless I misread that. So actually, for the first time here, Adam, TFO sitting with an advantage. Doubles line found by Josh for the first time in this matchup. Oliver looking in a decent spot, could take away the first game of this match from his opponent and prevent that clean sweep that Josh was potentially looking for. Scratch that, never mind, punch my ticket. Medvedev comes back and evens it back up, deuce 3.
I'm loving this back and forth. Like neither guy wants to give up these points, but somehow they still manage to get to the deuce scenario every time.
Second service here for TFO. It's going to land squarely into the service box right there. Moving up and close to the net are these 2 players once again, but TFO doesn't leave himself any space to work with. And with a nice little pot to the side, the point is going to get reset once again. Not sure what happened there this time, but once again, luckily for TFO, he's given himself a little bit of a reprieve. Josh moving up close to the net once again, but hits that clean shot to the right-hand side for the 17th time in this set, and is going to walk away with game number 1 of the second set.
Yeah, a nice slice there from Josh. There's no way Oliver's going to be able to run up and grab, or to even return that. He's in such a bad position. Like both guys are just being incredibly aggressive and coming to the net. I think Josh just needs to lob him a bit sooner. Go back to a couple of lobs to slow the game down.
Well, Oliver starting off strong as Josh hits it into the net right at the start here. Love 15 for the server. Josh is going to be performing a little bit better than that. However, we can confirm that Josh is able to play from this behind position with shots like that right on the back of the line. It is going to get called up, but umpire says it in. It's absolutely beautiful. What a fast, powerful shot there from Josh to even it up.
What a beautiful challenge. I mean, you've got to respect it. I agree that, that ball was moving at such a pace from that volley that anyone has to make that challenge. You have to respect it.
Another call out here, another challenge from Josh. Disputes it, but it was in fact out. No first service for this player on the bottom hand side of your UI just yet. But the second serve will be just fine. Moving up close to the net are both of these players, and Oliver is going to be the first one to rally it back. There's that beautiful volley over onto the left-hand side of court.
I'm still getting over that volley. That was an absolute stormer.
Whoa.
Oh, that was a beautiful ace.
There it is. Those are the kind of serves that we want to be seeing from Josh here. Medvedev definitely has the capacity to be hitting those, but doesn't look like Oliver was able to return it this time around, going for the underarm service this time. Maybe he just uses this to give himself a little bit of space, but the lob shot from Oliver is going to be good enough to return it right into the back of the court, letting him once again be at break point. Only needs to find one, enabled to clean up and finally break this win streak that Josh is on. Whether or not he can find it, though, might be a different story, because we could be seeing our 5th deuce of the day.
These huge volleys from Josh are just amazing. I have to respect it. I think yeah, Oliver just needs to, while he has introduced a couple more volleys or lobs, he needs to hit the timings a bit better. Otherwise, the volley is just super easy.
For sure. Oliver just really struggling to close out these games. He finds himself with a lead nearly every single time, but just not quite finding the confidence to be able to finish them up. He's able to find that lob, though. Could be in some trouble is Medvedev, and exactly that. He's going to get flustered, hit it into the net, and return us to deuce 2.
Yep. And I'm really liking how every so often they change service styles. Josh now goes from safe underhand serves to aces. It's incredible.
Playing once again up and close to the net, and once again it favors Josh. Medvedev really cleaning up these close quarters encounters. CFO not really being able to find an answer to them. Feels like he's getting a little too close too fast and not really controlling the space when he does so. You need to play more aggressive like that if you're going to move up close to the net. You need to be having more control over this ball. But clearly, he doesn't have, as the drop shot's going to come in. Going to go too far over his head, and game 2 for set 2 will fall to Medvedev.
Yeah, beautiful lob there. I like how Oliver got a little bit confused as to where that ball was trying to land. I almost thought because he hit it too soon that it might go out, but he was very lucky there. Oh, a nice ace.
Return ace from Oliver, looking to potentially find it once again. He needs to find this game, or else Josh will absolutely clean sweep him without him being able to find an answer in form of a game. Luckily, it hasn't been a perfect set for Josh. He hasn't been able to find every single point, but this game could be telling, as once again Oliver building up this lead. But Adam, my question to you is, will he finally be able to secure a game?
I mean, that was a fantastic volley, and I don't want to curse the poor guy, but if he can get nice hits in like that every so often, then I think he can at least get one game in, because these have been such close games that it'd be a real shame for him to be clean swept.
It's I think that's the other thing to touch on, though, right? Like, this hasn't been a complete shutout for Oliver. It has been unfortunate that he hasn't been able to find a game, but all of these matches have gone to deuce. It's just that Josh has been able to find these double points more consistently, and this time around, Oliver once again finds himself at 40 love. Only one more point to win it, but we have seen Josh come back from these situations before. Can Oliver finally close one out?
Really unfortunately, he went for a sort of a slice there rather than just a straight volley. But just feeling the pressure, the dispute. He wanted that point, Robbie. He wanted that point, and he went for the challenge. I respect it. That was clearly out.
You absolutely can't blame him. It's almost upsetting. It's heartbreaking here, Adam. I'll be honest with you. Watching Oliver over and over again, not quite able to secure the points that he wants. And now with the beautiful return after that slow shot, Josh is once again on his tail. 40-30 are the scores on the doors. Josh only needs one more point to tie this up and bring us to what could potentially be the final game of deuce. Oliver really needs to secure just one more point right here, right now, and win this first game. And with that shot into the outline, finally,
he's done it, Robbie. He's done it
to Oliver here.
He's managed it. He's managed the one game. Good job, Oliver.
Comeback's on, Adam.
Comeback is on.
On.
It's comebackable, Robbie. It's comebackable. This is it. This is the point where we're like, yes, it's winnable. It's winnable.
Well, we'll have to see. Oliver has certainly shown himself capable of winning these points early on. Josh, though, on his second service here, still no double faults for the man. He's doing just fine. And at this point, Oliver trying to play a little safer, but Josh pots it into the back left side of the court, ties himself up. 15 love so far, and I'm worried, Adam, that without an early game lead, Oliver might really struggle.
He will. He's quite far behind. But you saw in that last point, those perfects. Just look at how much more accurate they are, and just how much more powerful the shots are when you do get those timings right. And that's what happens when you hit it too soon, too often. Go straight for the net.
Playing some more football is Josh, looking for that goal. Unfortunately, no points rewarded here for hitting the net. Only points rewarded to your opponent. That's going to tie up the game 15-15. No more love on the court here today, ladies and gentlemen. Only death and destruction, as these two players are really going for it. They've changed up the pace since the start of this set, opting for a more quick-paced rally. However, this is going to favor Josh, as Oliver falls back into his old habits. He's missing his duo partner, clearly.
He is. He's missing him. But back to your point about how... oh, nice ace. Fantastic ace. But as you said about Oliver being maybe a little bit too far behind, if he could somehow even out these sets, I think the third set would be incredible. Is that once again a fault on an underhand serve?
That is correct, Adam. That is a fault on an underhand serve. Goes to the more dangerous option here, the overhead. And not quite going to land it. I think if he leaves that ball, it maybe goes into the doubles lines. But Josh, not willing to take a point that way, only needs one more to win. And with all that space on the court, it's not going to be difficult. Ladies and gentlemen, Josh closes out game number 3 here in the second set. And with only one game under his belt, Oliver takes a loss and will be eliminated from the bracket.
And it's really, as we've said, it's really unfortunate that that the scores isn't quite representative of how close this game was, because each one, I'm pretty sure 90% went to a deuce.
All but that last.
All but the last. Yeah, the last one pretty much went to deuce. So it's really unfortunate that Oliver wasn't able to get a bit more confidence in finishing off his games.
It definitely was a shame. Oliver really struggled closing out that last point. We saw him up by 3 points, in fact, multiple times. We saw him at love 40, but Josh just able to exploit the how do I put this nicely? The choke. He choked.
Yes.
Let's call it what it is. Oliver really choked out on those last few points. Really finding a lot of love in those doubles lines was his biggest weakness. Very unfortunate for him, just not quite able to close out the sets early enough. Forced himself into the deuce. And then, well, the rest is history. Josh just better at securing those 2 points in a row.
The real shame is Oliver has so far got the best serve of the tournament, and he is unfortunately out. And being able to serve at 222 kilometers an hour, Robbie, just imagine that thing coming at you. I couldn't possibly imagine. Well, we'll have to ask what Josh thinks of how fast those serves are, right, Robbie?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's jump on back to the studio, ladies and gents, where Al is interviewing Oliver.
Amazing casting and analysis of the game. I'm now joined by the winner, Josh. How are you feeling after that game?
I'm pretty happy with it. I mean, there was a bit of jovial moments with lob shots, but it's it's all fair. We did some questionable disputes, but it's all fun and games. So that's what we're going
definitely looked like it. Also seemed almost even at some points with a lot of juices happening there in that game. Tell me about what you were thinking when that was constantly coming back and forth between you and Oliver.
Like I said, pre-patch, Ollie kind of whooped my butt. So I was kind of expecting him to come back, I won't lie, but end of the day, managed to get it done. But it was still a great game, and he's the one who knows me the best, and I'm just grateful I got the chance to play him, which is.
So how was the game itself, playing against someone you're not only familiar with, but having to knock out a mate from the bracket?
I kind of feel bad, I won't lie. I feel like the boys in there peer pressured him away from Eisner in last minute. So I was kind of expecting a lot of serves, a lot of aces, but turned out it wasn't too many. So
Worked out, I guess, for you.
it worked out for me, I guess, but
so in backstage, so Tom just had his game, and you know, you can see he looked a bit confident considering his he had no games dropped. What are your thoughts that you're going to be going up against him in the next match?
I'm looking forward to it.
Looking forward to it.
Looking forward to it. I can see him over on the desk. He's hello. Hey, come bring it. But
how do you think you're going to do up against him?
I have no idea. I'll be brutally honest. But just hope it's going to be as good as the last one.
So up next, we're going to be having Max and Luke play. So that's been a match that a few of us have kind of been talking about, you know, because they both stood out. Brian even said that he leaned more towards Max being the better player. What's your thoughts on the outcome of the game?
I'm sticking with yesterday's prediction of Luke. I'm
Yeah?
sticking with it. But Brian's bought a secret weapon today, and it could change the scene. I'm not gonna lie.
Brian brought a secret weapon. Wait, you say brought up a secret weapon?
Max, sorry.
Max.
Sorry. But yeah. But I won't lie, Brian's looking kind of scary too. So.
Just a little bit.
I don't like it. Outside of bracket, can stay away.
So let's say you managed to beat Tom in the upcoming game. Who out of the other players would you rather go up against towards the finals?
I ain't got a clue. I'm just praying to make it through. That's it.
Just take it
I'm
through.
taking one step at a time now. I beat Ollie. That's what I came here to do.
How do you feel generally that you are one step closer now to the final, though, regardless?
It's exciting. I'll be
Exciting?
honest. Yeah. I'm loving it. Can't wait. I really can't. I just want to get going again.
All right. Then this is the final question. Is there anything you'd like to say to your fallen comrade, Oliver?
I'm sorry, bro. I didn't mean to. I know your family's watching. I know your girlfriend's watching. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry.
Heartwarming words by Josh here. But that's everything from us. Take it back to you guys over in the studio. We're going to be going to a quick break. Now on to the next game. Take it away, guys.
welcome back to the Roland Garros E-Series brought to us by BNP Paribas. So we're now moving on to the last game today to decide the final semi-finalist, who might have the potential to go towards the finals and then play in the grand finals in France.
It's getting very exciting now.
Just a little bit. You can even see the players in at the backstage getting a little bit cheeky with some of their plays. You can see when they're on the screen, you can see them just hiding like behind their masks, just smiling. Definitely a lot more tension. Definitely a lot more excitement because in the end, although this is you can see Max there.
He's even brought his tennis band around. Yeah, getting proper into the spirit of the game. Luke's looking laser focused. He's just looking at the screen, making sure like don't.
He's definitely got that that cool-headed mindset to him, whereas you've kind of got like Max, who's like this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try and overwhelm you. But for real, the opportunity to go to the final in France, and not only that, but you also have the chance to go to the finals yourself.
Yeah.
How are you feeling?
It's setting in now more.
It's a bit more.
The first game you think like, I'm not going to do well. Like, if I win, I win. If I lose, lose. And then the second one, it's like this could be like the dream could come true now. Like you can actually go to France. Yeah,
you could be there.
Yeah, it's like it's actually like it's setting in. I feel a bit more nervous now if anything else.
So after interviewing some of the players, we had Brian, who was more on the side of. On the side of Max, he was like, Max is definitely more stronger. He said he's the most overpowered player here. But then after interviewing Josh, he mentioned that he thinks he's thinking of his prediction from yesterday that Luke's going to win this. What are your thoughts on this?
It's indecisive, to be honest. I didn't, because Luke came in yesterday and he was actually really good, and a lot of technical players we've said before multiple times. Again, Max was the big favourite coming into this. He thought he was going to just dominate, which he didn't dominate the game against Daniel yesterday. It was very equal, even though the points don't say it. It was a lot closer than everyone thought it would be. So this is a 50-50 match. It could go anyway. I'm expecting a longer match, to be fair. This could be the potential for the first tiebreak. That
could be quite interesting. Do you think there'll be any as many juices as the last game?
It might be. Yeah, it might just keep going back and forth. Yeah, I'm hoping that's what we see today, to be honest.
All right, we'll be going right into the game now. Luke versus Max. Now, we have talked a lot about this, so it's going to be very exciting to see what will finally happen and who will continue on into the semi-finals to go up against... Who was it again that they're going up against?
The winner of this face is Brian.
Versus Brian, the meme master himself.
So it could be the ego of Max versus the ego of Brian, or the cool, collected look of Luke against Brian, the meme lord himself.
Now that would be quite an interesting matchup, Luke versus Brian. But at the same time, seeing Max against Brian would be quite entertaining to watch, I imagine.
So we got Max obviously playing his Cilic again from yesterday, and Luke playing his Medvedev. Let's see if Max can carry on with these serves. Oh, he was probably hoping to get an ace straight off the bat there, but Luke managing to return it. I'm expecting a lot of drop shots today. A lot of, I don't know, just a lot of more controlled play. I don't think it's going to be as fast-paced as the game just previously.
I do imagine we'll see a lot more, again, more focus on positioning, more focus on trying how to outplay the other player. Oh, things starting to speed up a little bit.
As we can see straight away, it's quite a bit of a rally there between them, and unfortunately he hit the net, but we're seeing this style of play where it's just like they are just trying to be more accurate, just be more consistent. It looks like they're just trying to force the errors out of each other instead of going for that power point.
Go for a strong serve there. Very simple rally, slowly trying to push up, they're getting a bit closer towards the net.
Getting very up in each other's faces, and then both just slowly coming back away from the net as well. Both trying to predict what each other's trying to do. So it's like they're going for a similar game plan there.
Yeah, almost like a virtual tug of war. You can't really see it, but they're just constantly moving back and forth, just giving each other a lot of respect, because they both understand that anything could happen in this game. That all it's going to take is 1-2 moves, and just for one player to get the other point. And so they're both constantly trying to think ahead, try to put themselves in a position that will make up for any surprise moves they have, but also set them up for any other potential moves that they've also planned out themselves.
Exactly.
You see, he's even Luke's like conserving stamina, just making sure he's ready to run across the pitch if needed.
That's it with these longer rallies between them. That stamina bar really comes into play later on, because if you can't make that shot when you usually would, it's going to disappoint the player.
We got 30-15 so far towards Max, but again, nothing really standing out too much. No player looking like they're dominating over the other.
Ooh, bit of a mistake there. from Max. He's not going to be happy with that. Giving away points, shaking his head there. Don't want to be giving away too many points because Luke can take the advantage here.
I definitely think if you give an inch, he will take a mile. But that said,
wins that point back straight away with a classic ace. Was it 218 kilometers an hour?
Luke just crunching the numbers now, going, okay, ace, how to return next time.
Yeah, very good serve there from and again.
2 aces in a row, 280 kilometers per hour.
Very fast.
Very strong aces. Definitely trying to say, I'm taking this first game. Yeah. You know, doesn't want to give Luke any time to strategize, to think about it. It almost looked like his character had enough time to hit, but maybe that's just from our perspective.
Yeah, it's a lot different in game.
Yeah.
When you see it, you think, oh, I could have hit that, but then it's like the speed of the ball going. If you miss, it could be a bad miss time anyway.
So simply the first game, plenty of time to Luke to show all his skills that he had yesterday.
But seen a lot of, liking that we've seen a lot of rallies now. A bit of a stumble there from Max. Not sure quite what's going on. Maybe didn't quite lock on.
Kind of forgot where the ball was for a minute there.
Usually the collected player looking a bit nervous there.
Definitely, as the winner of this is going up towards the semi-finals, you can definitely see the pressure coming on into the players. From when yesterday we saw cool-headed tactical plays, potentially a bit more erratic.
Nice player there from Luke, stretching Max across that court, making sure he goes so far wide, and then it's like, yeah, you're not going to return this one.
He's not even celebrating. He's just thinking, all right, next game, next one, let's go.
That's it. He's so focused. Not seeing a lot of emotion from Luke, but I guess if he gets this win, in his win, he's shouting.
I definitely imagine if we speak to, if Luke manages to pull this off, he will definitely be happy on screen later.
Another little bit of a mistake there by Max, hitting the net again.
Yeah, the second game really going a lot more towards Luke's favour. Like points from him as well as mistakes from Max, definitely helping him. That was a strong serve there.
It seems like each player likes to hold their own serve, so I don't know if we'll see a lot of break points, because it just seems to be stronger when they are serving.
So if I'm managing to keep it in, just trying to lowball it a bit, and gets a bit too low. Max hitting it into the net, and Luke takes the second game.
Tried going for the slice there, Max. It just wasn't quite high enough. Just mistimed it.
It was really well played. You can see Luke slowly, bit by bit, lowering it. Before you knew it,
Max very unhappy with that. Luke is just nothing. I've not even seen him blink.
Yeah. He hasn't taken his eye once off the screen. Bit of a low ball there, forcing him to come a bit more forwards.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of slices, a lot of drop balls going on.
But kind of worked out against him in the end there, where he was immediately like, okay, you're going to try and play me like this, hit into the other corner, go get it.
Yeah. Max taking the lead here. Let's watch his serve.
Confident serve, ace.
Nice Max power, straight down the middle. Just keeping it on that line.
That's 3 aces for Max now, I believe?
Yeah, I think so, yep. Yeah, the last 2 aces from the first game.
Yeah, definitely looking like he's going to do well when it comes to his turn to serve. But Luke here showing that he can retaliate, he can give the ball back. Keeping up with his mind games.
Ooh, he was unlucky there, missed it. Ooh, bad missed time.
You can see what he was trying to go for. He's been doing it a few times now, just getting him to the right side of the court, hit it towards the left, and it almost would have worked.
That's it. This game is very much positional play. It's more like, I want to force you over here, I want to force you over there, instead of the fast pace like we saw last game where they were both really close to each other, just doing a lot of lobs.
I mean, just now that was another quick ace by Max, taking the score to 40-15. I wasn't expecting that. I thought it would be a bit more of a... And another ace! What is this? He's just like, nope, I'm not risking it. We're going through this game.
Yep.
Here we go, look at him.
He's feeling a bit more confident looking there.
Well,
now.
He's not shaking his head. Luke still processing.
Luke's thinking, right, I remember how to do it last time, so it's a...
Well, when Luke had the serving opportunity in his, when he had that power in his hands, you know, he won that game. So potentially we could see him bring this one back again.
It looks like it could go just back-to-back games here. Just obviously they're holding the serves, not a lot of break points. Max will be looking for that break point now, but Luke will be trying to make sure like that, just shut him out.
They got way too close towards the middle there. Luke literally had the perfect opportunity. So okay, well you're up next to the nets, hitting it straight back out there, getting the point over to him. Starting off this game with the first points on the board.
Oh, good.
Okay.
First decision dispute.
About time. That definitely looked in.
See Max warming up his hand there. Maybe a little bit cold for him in that room, but
kind of thought we're getting near the end. Might as well start disputing a little bit here. Oh, strong serve there by Luke, but just as good a return by Max. That ball looking a little close to the outline there.
Very intricate play.
Luke,
I thought that looked a little bit out. I'm surprised there was no decision there, no disputing. But
Luke looked like he was about to chase the ball and it just stopped. Wait, was the ball considered out or?
No, that point was for Max.
Okay.
So it's 30-15 currently in favour of Luke. Good shot there from Luke, cutting it very close across that.
One more point and he takes this game. It's like I said. When these players have the serving in their control, they can take control of the game and like the pace of it.
Yeah, they seem much more comfortable when they aren't serving, so they feel like like you said, they were in more control of that as we watched Luke take the point there. Some very stern looks on the face of both players.
On to game 5. Is that our first game 5?
I think it could.
I don't think I've seen a 2-2 before.
Yeah, so obviously they have to win by 2 games. So Max starting this with a great ace. So obviously if Max wants to capitalise, he has to win by 2 full games to get the first set. So it's going to be very close contested.
I can imagine we'll almost go to a deuce in this game. That would be the perfect way to tie it up.
Luke with a great return before, and he was just unlucky there, got a bit out of position by Max.
Yeah, Max waking up points already. Kind of looking a bit more confident there. So a bit of a 2-point climb for Luke here now.
You got to think though, the longer this game goes on, the better odds that Brian will be having, because he's thinking these players, if they're playing a longer than average game, it might be a bit of a mental endurance.
Yeah, especially with these 2 players being almost, well, as you can see from the score, they're pretty toe-to-toe. If this does drag out, it could, potentially drain them, like I said, and wear out their endurance, definitely making it an easy bracket for Brian. But that said, both players not to be taken lightly. We've seen them yesterday, we're seeing them today up against each other. They've definitely got the skills, they've definitely got the tenacity to win this tournament, I'd say, overall.
But hopefully Brian will be checking them statistics afterwards, just making sure he knows where whoever he has to face goes where they're strongest.
Looking a bit pleased with himself there. It's like, okay. Wow. Most aces this game have come from the inside.
Ah, right. Good start. I think Max favours that inside of the court instead of going trying to find outside. Seems to be because a lot of players seem to move over to that outside expecting it to come straight across. But Max looks like he has just tuned himself to hit that inside. So it's currently 3-2 in this set in favour of Max, but it's Luke's serve. And as we've seen before, Luke looking comfortable on his own serve, as we say that, and then Max gets a point.
He just couldn't make it across the other side in time to make our casting come true, laying us down. But still early days. We should be able to see him do well in this game.
I'm surprised he got that one, to be fair. I thought that would have been a bit too far over, but Luke dealing with his pressure now from Max very well.
Yeah, really, Max has really been stretching him out there, just left, right. All that stamina was just being wasted and we were just trying to keep up. Luke wasn't really trying to set up, I guess, in this case. He was more reacting to Max's plays. Oh, fault. I thought that was going to be an ace for a minute. I was like, oh. Another good start. Bit of a low ball there. Try to catch Max off guard, but he just hits it right back. No sweat. Max again, just making him go back and forth, but Luke sees Judas, he goes, not again.
No, it didn't make him go too far this time. Not far enough, so Luke manages to get that, hit it back down court, and
like the past 2 rounds, Max was mostly, when he was up close against the fence, he was mostly guarding, like not giving an opportunity to give it to a corner, but there Luke spotted a chance there, put it into the corner, just couldn't keep up, and you can see him trying to find it again. Really using up a lot of stamina early, however, trying to get Brian into a more...
Brian?
Huh?
Brian?
Brian? No, not Brian. That's another Max into a helicopter position, but it doesn't work out too well. Max end up getting the point anyway.
But yeah, like I say, Luke is using a lot of that stamina, so I think he's hopefully trying to use it, quite a bit of it, to make sure that he makes it through to this. Oh, he hits the net surprisingly there. I thought he was going to return that quite comfortably, but Max takes his first set. I think that's the longest set we've had currently, at about 10 minutes.
Definitely took a lot longer than most other ones. Luke not looking overly upset. It's probably a little bit disappointed in himself, but
just registering it, going,
yeah. It's like, okay, this is what I need to do.
Let's see if we can see the comeback now from Luke.
And you know what? Instead of that, we're looking at the nerves getting to Max instead.
That's it now, with Max doing so well in that first game, he's got to actually make sure that he keeps on top of it and make sure that he goes through it.
Okay, that's not looking too good now for him. After seeing another ace coming through by Max, he's definitely gonna start thinking, okay, what do I need to do to counter these serves? Because that does seem to be one of Max's stronger points. Other than that, it's definitely positioning. Luke's definitely start looking for a way to counter position himself to Max and try and play his own game a little bit here, because Max is just dictating where Luke goes.
Yeah.
And while Luke definitely has kept up with it, it's not thinking ahead to lead up to a win, if that makes sense. Most of the wins he's got so far is from either a slip up from Max or, you know, a good shot.
Yeah.
You know, credit to him. But he needs to start considering more of that macro play and start thinking about the, you know, overall, like, where's my stamina going? Where am I using it? What am I going to try and make him do?
Yeah.
Because in the day, if you're making him use more stamina than he is, you've got a way better chance of winning. And that's what Max is doing here. And I think in terms of Max's head, he's just thinking, I'm just going to keep doing this.
Yep.
I've already got this working strategy. It seems to be working. He's got way more stamina. You can see it on the screen. It seems to be going a lot more towards how Max has planned this match out.
Yeah.
Is what I'll say so far.
So you got to think Luke's going to be thinking in the back of his head now, got a couple of thoughts going back to yesterday and how he kind of controlled that match. So he's got to be thinking, right, I've got to get back onto it, make sure, because he can do it. Obviously, we've seen him do it, and he was arguably the better player yesterday out of all the players who we saw on stream. But so he's got it in him, obviously, to do it, and he's got to be thinking, right, if I just get back into the mindset of yesterday, should be able to get this game back, win this set, and take it to a good match. Ooh, that is minusculely
That was
in.
so close. Oh my god, even the crowd's going crazy.
I think that was even closer than Josh's one from the match before. I don't think it's a full pixel, it's like half a pixel.
Right now, 40-30 to Max, and oh no, 40-40. And we're at a deuce. I don't know why I said 40-40 then.
You can see definitely that both players have turned up today, turning this game up to Max. Like, they're actually they're both at their peak, because I think they're realising now that getting to that semi-final, this is the last spot for it. You're coming up against Brian, and then all you've got to do is, in their heads, going to be thinking, just win this one, win one more,
That's
final. And then it's like, oh, you win one more after that, you're in France.
It's really not that far for them, and that would definitely be adding pressure, especially when you've got Max throwing aces at you left, right, and centre, taking this game away from Luke. You've definitely got to be thinking, like, well, I would have thought Max would look a little bit more pleased than that, but Luke definitely feeling a lot more pressure now. He's got to make back. He's got to make back a few more points. He's already, Max is already one set ahead. I feel like the more we go through and the more points that Max will rake up, the more the nerves will hit both of them. The more Max will start to mess up, think I need to get this over quick, the more Luke will think he's going to win before I can. So we could potentially see a lot more slip-ups coming through these players. But that said, I would like to see a surprise cool, calm, collected play from Luke, just out of nowhere, just seeing through Max's strategy.
Yeah, I think Luke's got to now think, right, just make sure I keep my serve. Don't let Max get a break point. Just keep on it, keep winning the games where I'm serving, and then obviously take it through to a tie break, and then see where it goes from there. But or try and break Max. Try and break them serves, them powerful serves. I think if he manages at some point to get a break point against Max, it might start to creep into Max that the serve isn't the best way to go.
Another simple rally between the two, getting up close. Sorry, Luke trying to move back to catch the ball in time, but
just a bit too far for him.
Yeah, just a bit too far. Max had to look a lot more confident.
But this is where a lot of unforced errors can be critical at this point, because it's like, yeah, you want to make sure that you don't want to give away a game based off an unforced error. So.
Oh, that was pretty well played by Luke. Just baiting him a little bit there towards the left side of the court, and you can see him there almost for a moment, like trying to figure out where he's trying to go.
It seemed like he could get to it, and then all of a sudden, like maybe not. But so a bit of confusion going on. Oh, good return.
Very good.
What a shot from Luke that is. Max trying to go way across court and push Luke out of position, but Luke's thinking, no, I'm going to reach that ball this time. I'm going to put it out of your position. I'm going to counter what you're trying to do.
Yeah, they were trying to like lowball it between each other near the fence, and then just in that moment, Luke kind of thought, nope, hit it right to the back, and quite gracefully, got himself towards the 40-30 score. And the nerves set in for Max as he hits the net, handing the game over to Luke. Now that must feel a little bit good after seeing the first set go to Max. Max, not look. Oh no!
Another shake of the head there.
It wasn't flawless. It wasn't good enough. Really trying to keep his untouchable reputation going.
But Max will be thinking that it's an unforced error that didn't need to be there, and it's giving away a game. It's letting Luke back into this second set. So if he needs to work on that, but Luke's going to be thinking, all right, I'm cracking him now. I'm putting him under this pressure. So it's like Luke's bringing in the play from yesterday again, making Max feel nervous with this.
Especially now that he's just got the first score of this game, as well as an ace. Oh no, was that Max? That was Max.
That was Max, yeah.
Luke probably not as confident now. 15-15.
Max always seems a bit unsettled, does a couple of errors, and then re-establishes himself with a couple of aces. So he kind of just like sets himself back into that mode, like, yeah, come on, crack on with it.
I mean, while I don't know, this is looking kind of concerning. If he can just kind of keep these aces firing straight at Luke. Oh no, there we go. Luke finally stopping it.
Luke saw it coming this time. Made sure to get that inside. Oh, Max is always going for that inside, so if Luke's trying to make sure to come over to that inside on his serve, should return more than half of them at least. Just depends on the pure speed of them.
Going up a bit closer, trying to low ball.
You can definitely tell as Max gets to that point, but both of these players have been training for weeks now. When the announcement of the event was taking place. You can see both players showing their skills that they have learned over the hours and hours that they put into this game. As Max delivers a killer serve.
He's definitely been practicing those serves.
Yep.
You don't pull off that many aces again and just like act like, nah, I didn't do any training. No, you know this man's been sitting in front of this game for hours.
They're showing the rest of the nations involved that we are to be feared. We've put the hours in. We're coming for it. We're coming for that title.
Right. Very nicely well rounded up with the ace there. And that is game 3 to Max. Now to game 4.
So possible last game this could be if Max turns it on, but obviously Luke, again, as we keep saying, he always seems a bit more confident on his serve. So he wants to make sure that he doesn't lose this point. He wants to make sure that he's fighting for that spot.
Yeah, exactly. That chance to represent the UK, the amount of pride you would feel in representing your country in this final. All players definitely want this. As you heard in the interviews, they are all here to win. They know it's a friendly competition, but no one's going to say, I don't want to go to France.
Oh, that's
Who the hell's going to say that?
Everyone's here to part. Everyone's there not just to take part. They want to win it. They want to take home that. They want to take home the big prize. They want to go to France. They want to say, I was the one who was sent from this Staffordshire University in the UK to win this tournament.
Exactly. In the end, the only way you can prove that you wanted it the most is by winning this tournament. And Max really showing that he's put that time in, kind of mastering.
Cracking ace there from Luke.
Finding an ace from Luke. That's definitely going to bring a bit of confidence. Think, yeah, I can do it back to you as well.
We saw a bit of looking of like confusion there from Luke. It's like, how did I manage to get an ace?
No one can get past me with an ace. How is this?
But it's the response we want to see from Luke. We want to make sure, like, oh, he's not down and out straight away. So obviously getting another point there.
He's looking at the score and he's like, I've still got a chance. It's not over yet.
That's it. If you reset this, get it to 2 games apiece, it gets the Max's score back down to 0. We've got to keep going again. It couldn't be. All these games can quickly rack up.
I mean, looks starting to look a little bit similar to the first set between Luke and Max. So hopefully in this case, Luke will go for a 3-1 score rather than... Oh, sorry, he can't. He's going for 2-2 again and then get another 2 points. So bit of a climb waiting for him there. But I generally believe that he can definitely do it by slowly ironing out.
I think he made a mistake before, to be honest, because it looked like this shot in particular looked like it was going out, and which didn't get called, but
and then
the return over there was out. So both shots looked to be out there. No disputes called.
No disputes.
But,
say no more.
Luke takes the game, so we go into 2-2 in the second set, and then obviously like the first game, they've got to win. They've got to win by 2. So.
This is definitely being one of the longest games we've had so far today.
You can definitely tell these are the 2 players which seem to have practiced the most. They seem to be like the top 2 players in this tournament. And unfortunately, we had to see them in the quarterfinals instead of the actual finals.
Yeah, it would have been interesting to see this game later on in the bracket, but that's what it's there for, to knock out the harder competition.
That's the beauty of a tournament. It could be upsets anywhere. Matches take place at any point.
Max back on his ace grind, just kind of reminding Max that when it comes to his serve, that this is his game. If he's the one that's serving, you're not gonna get anything. Trying to establish that dominance, but Luke definitely not the one to just sit down taking a beating like that. He's most definitely right now considering, how can I get around this? You know, this is the score right now. How much more do I need? How can I do this? And you can see that the same strategy that I was mentioning earlier that Max kept using, trying to drag him from one end to the other, really hasn't been as effective anymore. And
we're getting a dispute here from a very quite far in. I'm not.
Maybe we just thought we're coming near to an end. Should probably start using disputes.
Max disputing that, but it was quite visible beforehand that it was not going out.
So they should have taken Adam's advice, challenge everything. You never know when you could have needed that earlier.
But he retaliates with a massive serve again, getting the ace.
40-15 to Max. 1 more point from him.
I will actually lost count how many aces he's got this match, because we're going to have to check them statistics afterwards.
Oh, I know. He's happy. He's happy. You know he's going to be happy.
Given the number 1.
Luke, I mean, not looking actually that upset. It's probably, I can assume there's people in the background there probably making a couple of jokes. So
yeah, of course they will.
Definitely a bit of light-handed banter there with the with the boys there. Yeah, there you can see them laughing there.
There's Brian will be in there next to him going, come on, keep going longer, get more tired. I want to play you when you've been a bit exhausted.
Well, trying to be definitely keeping morale high up there for the players at the moment.
But we see a dispute there by Luke after his serve, thinking it was in, but it was just out. So it was well worth the dispute.
First points towards Max in this game. This is going to be our first tiebreaker, I believe, that we've had so far.
If Luke gets this game, it'll go to a super tiebreak, yeah, because it's out of three games. So if Max manages to win this game, he'll win the whole match.
And if Luke manages to have the super tiebreak,
we'll have the super tiebreak. Yeah, I think it's the first to 8 points, I believe, if we get to that point.
8 points.
And again, you have to win by 2 though, so it could keep going and going and going.
Oh, this whole 2-point system really.
There has to be a clear winner in tennis. It can't just be by 1. It's got to be by 2.
just to fully establish the winner. I definitely feel like the people who came up with tennis were one of those people who wouldn't take a one win over the other. Definitely, no. If I beat you twice in a row, I can count that as a win.
So if I beat you on my serve and beat you on your serve, that's it.
Yeah, that's it. I'm happy with that. But here Max happily beating anyone
He's
on any side.
giving a little sleeper sign there to Luke, making look like he's going to put him out straight away on his own serve as well. But this is match point for Max. He's now returning for that semi-final spot to represent the UK. And a very good shot there, just out-positioning Luke. And he's through to the semi-final.
I mean, again, using that same strategy I said earlier, oh, he's not going to use that one as much. He literally uses it again to win it. I mean, condolences to Luke. He did play very well and kept up with a lot of Max's strategies, but in the end, Max played a better game. Let's see these aces. 15 aces!
That double figures got hit, boys.
Yeah,
there we go.
So what was that about with lower aces?
But definitely the most amount of aces in a singular match. There from Max. And very close on the first serve accuracy, though, from both players.
I mean, yeah, again, you can see that they have put the time in, especially with their serves, and both very, very competent and mechanically well-played players. But Max just taking that little bit extra, what was it, by 1% his serves were a bit better?
Yeah, by 1%.
And only just like 14 aces higher.
It was good noticing that the unforced errors, though, actually were in Luke's favour, because Luke had half the amount of unforced errors compared to Max. Max had 12, Luke had 6. So it showed that Max is prone to making more errors if you can get that, if you can return that serve.
So looking forward into the semi-finals, Brian will definitely trying to trying to keep those like longer rallies going, trying to see if he can make Max slip up rather than him slipping up.
That's it, yeah.
Scores.
So as you can see here, the bracket has been semi-finals have been filled up now. Brian versus Max, and myself versus Joshua Griffin Meek.
How are you feeling about that game coming up against Joshua?
Watching him before, he's quite good actually. I saw how he played, but feeling nervous because he did beat Oliver quite well, his own friend. But gonna try and make sure I remember like Oliver. But I'm not gonna try and make the same mistakes and then hopefully beat him and make it through to the final.
Yep, definitely possible. You did also have a very, very strong game. So I definitely think you guys are almost equally matched in this case. So we're now going to be going for a quick break, and we'll be interviewing the winner of that previous match. Stay tuned, and we'll be right back.
welcome back, guys. And I'm now joined by Max, the winner of the previous game. How are you feeling, Max?
I'm feeling pretty good. It was a little bit more difficult than I expected. Luke's really improved over the last weeks or so, and he's really good at trying to put me off my rhythm.
Did you find Luke as quite a challenging player in his style?
Previously, I hadn't, but with the new patch, he's adapted really well, and he's a really good player, and it was a really great match.
What sort of things were throwing that he was trying to do to throw you off?
He was using the meta really well and was able to use the meta patterns against me as well. So I was having to use older patterns from older patches to kind of get that advantage.
Well, it seems to have worked out for you in the end. How do you feel that you've made it into the semi-finals of this tournament?
It's expected for me, really.
Oh, yeah.
I'm already preparing for Paris.
Oh, confident words from Max again. I'd expect nothing less from you. You're going to be going up against Brian, who potentially has just as much of a personality, should we say, as you. How do you feel against going up against him?
I just hope he can keep the same personality once he loses.
Fighting words, fighting words. Do you think he's got a chance?
There's always a chance, but
yeah.
it might require a few resets.
So earlier when I was watching the stream, I saw there's quite a bit of laughter in the background between like you and Luke. Could you tell me a bit about what was happening behind the scenes?
Oh, we were just having a bit of banter before the match, discussing like we're decent friends now, and it's always good to have a bit of banter before a match.
Are you decent friends anymore?
I have to wait until I get back in the room.
So at the end of the bracket, we have Tom, who's going to be playing. We've also, what do you think about Tom's performance so far? Because he had a very clean game last time.
Yeah, Tom looks pretty good. Unfortunately, that whole side of the bracket looks a lot weaker than the side that I'm on. It's me, Luke, and Brian with the top 3 players easily, and I'm just that bit above those two.
Would you not say it's too early to count Josh out yet, though?
I'm just counting him out at the beginning of the tournament.
So, just a final question, just for anyone that wanted to get into this game, we just want to know a bit about how you got into this and how you find it personally.
Well, it was a great opportunity. I got an email about maybe signing up for it. I was like, fine, I'll give it a go. I've never played a tennis game before. I've not really been to like an international level of esports either, and it's been a really great experience. I've met a load of new people, made new friends, and it's a really good community that I've got myself into now. I'd recommend anyone to at least give it a go, find the community, and just see if they like it or not.
If someone was to join, what would be the best way for them to join?
The best way is obviously joining a tournament and getting the game for free. But otherwise, the game doesn't cost too much. It's not that much of a big investment if you don't like it. It's on Steam. You can always refund on there if you really don't like the game. I know it is a little bit difficult to get directly into the game, but once you get over that tiny little first half hour and you start realizing how the mechanics work, it's a really fun game.
That's nice to hear. So would you have any last words for Brian, who you'll be going up against later?
Watch out, I'm coming for you.
Perfect. Well, thank you very much for your time. We'll now send it over to our casters, Robbie and Adam. Take it away, guys.
Thank you. Ow! Adam! We have one hell of a matchup coming up for us in just a moment. Oh, hold on. There we go. A little bit better now. We have quite one hell of a matchup. The dream matchup here, Adam. Tom versus Josh is what we've all been. Oh wait, hold on. That's not the right Josh. Oh, that's right. Josh lost earlier because he's a noob. Tom versus the other Josh, Joshua Griffin Meek, is going to be your matchup right here, ladies and gents, for the second semi-final, or I suppose in the order we're broadcasting it, the first semi-final. This is the lower bracket side. But these two players, obviously very talented here to get to the semi-final. The winner of this will, of course, go on to face the winner of the first semi-final, which will be Brian versus Max. Another one of the cooler matchups that we have today. Although, I gotta say, that last set went not quite how I was expecting it to. I'll be honest with you.
I was expecting a third set. If I was a gambling man, halfway through that game, Ross and I were talking. and I was just like, that this is going to a third set. I was quite convinced because Luke was doing so well, and once again, it's really frustrating when scores don't quite represent how games go. Like I was really looking forward to how Luke and Max would perform on a third set, because it would have been the first time we see a third set. I would always say that Max was on maximum power, but then I was told that Luke was a little lukewarm, but I disagree with that. I disagree with that entirely. I definitely think that Luke did play incredibly well,
sure.
and definitely proved that Max is defeatable without a shadow of a doubt. Obviously, managing to take quite a few games.
Luke played very, very well, but at the end of the day, there's only so much you can do against 15 aces, which he was not able to return.
No.
I know aces has kind of been this buzzword, right? You know, what does an ace really mean? And that's obviously when you serve and you get the point straight away. There's no sort of volley, but for the mental game, an ace can be really devastating, especially the amount that Max was able to get. I actually am blanking on whether or not he won any games fully on aces, but it can be very difficult when you just don't get to play a game.
Absolutely. And yeah, he did win a couple of games just straight from just aces themselves. And like you said, that takes a huge mental toll. But I mean, those are basically free points for Max, because you don't have to worry about return. You have to worry about messing up yourself. You get that perfect ace straight from the get-go. Boom, easy games. Like why do you then have to worry about the rest of the game when you've just gone, I'm just gonna win right now. You don't even get to play.
And as you could see from that last interview, Max has so much confidence coming up behind him. He seems almost undefeated in that mental capacity. He didn't even. You have to put respect onto Luke. Max did not. Max showing no respect. He counted him out. You heard him right there. He's counted out everyone else in the tournament. But that could lead to a bit of a disappointment for him if he underestimates his opponents. Brian has already shown that he's a very talented player. Tom, as well, has already shown that he's a very talented player. And as we saw in our last set, Joshua Griffin Meek is also very, very good at controlling these points, very good at playing from behind as well, which could be a really essential skill going up against Max, who does play from ahead.
No, absolutely. But one thing I would say is Max might put on a brave face during interviews, but watching those player cams, he definitely got frustrated when he made mistakes. So he needs, if he wants to be, the cool, calm cucumber that he is, he's got to learn not to be not to show it on camera, especially in front of his opponent. Because if he's showing off that he's getting a bit frustrated, you get that mental game going. But I am excited to see the first, but as you said, it is technically on the other side of the bracket, but the first to be streamed semi-finals, and with our fellow co-host, Tom.
For sure, yeah, to see one of our own, one of the caster team who has obviously been rising up through these brackets. It's very exciting here, playing Roger Federer. The first time we're actually seeing Tom on broadcast playing the Swiss player here.
Is he Swiss, Robbie?
He is Swiss. We have decided.
We have decided.
I suppose we can let him be Swiss.
Excellent.
If we have to.
But it is nice to see no Nadal. I'm also quite glad that if I was to make a request to the players, if any player is listening, if you do pick Nadal, can you make sure they're not both wearing pink t-shirts, please? Thank you.
Absolutely. Federer though, Tom, here on the first serve of the match. Looks like a pretty competent rally from these two. Tom not really wanting to waste the stamina on this early game point. Gonna let that one slip by him. Back to the service. Second serve here for Tom. It's a little bit far on that first serve. No double fault, though, is able to maintain that rally. However, cannot be said for his opponent. Joshua punts it into the net.
Josh's favorite place is the net. like I don't know what this guy likes so much about the net, but it is his favorite place to put the ball. Not on the service line, not in any of the boxes, just the net.
Nothing but. He's going to be playing catch-up here a little bit. Tom really making him work his way around the court, but he's able to make up that space nice up and close to the net. Tom's going to serve it right to him. And
yeah, I was really unlucky there for Tom. That was a beautiful slice, but Josh just being able to get back in there and play nice and close to the net himself and get a nice cheeky little shot in.
Beautiful serve there right onto the center line. Not really too afraid of the return. Lob's going to come up, shooting it straight back towards his opponent. Tom finding it a little difficult to control this ball and send it where his opponent isn't. The lob shot's going to come in. Tom's going to hit it straight into the doubles line, though. Medvedev here with 1 point left to win. Josh is on the cusp of his first game at this break point.
Yeah, forcing Tom into that really awkward position of, not being far enough forward, but not being far enough back to make a decision on that volley. Because if that volley had hit, I think that would have been a point for Tom. But he's just sat there in that sort of no man's land sort of area where it's really hard to sort of play from. And seeing there, not being able to get back to the ball in time.
For sure, game one is going to go the way of Tom, he's looking happy about it. He's looking pretty relaxed. Tom essentially just needing to find his stride here, but playing from behind shouldn't be too much of an issue for him.
No, but he has had his serve broken, so he is at a bit of a disadvantage because Josh did have a pretty cracking great serve in his previous game.
I believe we saw 8 aces from Josh, yes, in the first set of the day. Lob shot able to be returned there by Tom, but not quite having the stamina to find the second one. Josh really making him run around on the court. It's got to be tiring.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, look at that stamina bar. You can just see the difference. A nice, safe underhand volley there from Josh.
Back and forth. Both of these players liking to play a more aggressive style pretty quick, but unfortunate little mess up there sends the ball into the doubles line, and that is going to be Josh forfeiting the first point of this match over towards his opponent, tying us up to 15-15. The rally comes back through, and once again, Josh not able to find it in potentially the same situation that Tom was in the first game, where he wasn't quite able to find his way back over to the other side of the net. Oh, bounces off the net there, that one. That's going to be a let for Tom. First fault. The second serve will be just fine, so don't worry, ladies and gentlemen. Tom hasn't forfeited, hasn't got that double fault just yet. Forcing Josh up close to the net now. Tom also making his way a little bit closer up, but looks like he's going to be the one taking advantage of that spacing there from Josh. Very well played.
Yes, very well played. Manipulating and forcing everyone to make errors.
30-30 now, even across the board. Scratch that, sorry. Medvedev here. Josh picking up the game point, potentially. Looking to pick up his second game and make it pretty difficult for Josh to come back here. I'm not sure what that was, Tom.
I think Tom just forgot what a button input was for a second. He's been sitting on the casting desk a little bit too long. He's a little bit rusty.
He's seen that Josh has already, other Josh, we should clarify, has already been knocked out of the tournament. He's lost the wind in his sails. He's doesn't quite have that drive, and with a fault there from
lovely challenge. Let's go. Oh, that's definitely in.
Not quite, unfortunately. Slightly into the doubles box, but
just
second
slightly.
service should come out here. Beautiful. Pots it right into the corner. Tom, now on the defensive, moving up a little bit. Stumbles to find that shot, but now wide open space on the right-hand side, but unfortunately a little too slow to rally that back. Federer loses the point thanks to that spacing. Comes a little too close to the net and gets punished.
Yeah. But obviously, this is obviously Tom's chance to shine, showing off his fantastic serving skills. Maybe he can get a couple of aces, a couple of free points.
Essentially, a lob coming through here from his opponent. Josh tries to come back here, but finds nothing but net. Tying up the score 15 to 15. Tom, once again in the driver's seat, has to find this game to prevent Josh from walking away with the first set as easily.
As I said. Oh, hold on. Hold on. Oh, come
Not
on!
quite.
Come on! One day. I thought Josh challenged that because that did look in for me. I was also dead set on that being in.
Fortunately for Tom, not quite, but the second service will be just fine. These two players now playing pretty aggressively, waiting for a power shot, but a little too soon there from Tom. Chips it over to the left-hand side, but the return won't be good. Knocks it into the net, does Medvedev. Josh loses out on another point. Tom with a point advantage here. 2 more to find to pick up his first game of the set and look ever closer to evening up the set and finding a win potentially. Will need to bring it to a second round of games, and with that point, he's looking ever closer to creeping towards it.
Yep, just not being able to break the serve this time for Tom, but he's got a chance. He's got a chance. All he needs is to get a couple more points.
Beautiful serve there, right in the corner of the box. Tom really maintaining his attitude here. Tom seems to be pretty keen on serving it back to his opponent, and that could, well, you saw it right there. He takes a little bit too long, is too keen on giving it exactly to where his opponent is going to be going, rather than forcing Josh to run around and expend that stamina. He's going to get punished for it by himself by throwing it right into those doubles lines. Serve once again will be good, but Tom might be on the back foot here.
He is also completely out of stamina, so he needs to stop doing power shots because they just get much harder to time. So he just needs to sort of just do a few more precision shots instead. Also, it makes him really slow, so missing out on actually being able to attempt to return that.
Bringing it back to deuce now is Josh. This, ladies and gents, as a reminder, your gamely reminder, that either one of these players now has to hit those 2 shots in a row. Tom looking to find them already with an advantage, with a pretty sneaky shot there, low to the ground on the right-hand side of the player. Josh not quite being able to find it, a little too close to body. Tom now not quite able to find the ace, but the lob is coming in nice and easy for him. Really trying to slow down the pace of the game, but moves over to the other side of the map, expecting Tom to hit it there. But unfortunately for Josh, Tom plays that very, very well. Hits it onto the right-hand side of the court, ties up the deuce, and is able to find game number 1 for himself.
Even though Josh wasn't able to sort of close out and get that advantage, he definitely came back from behind. What he was, it was 30 love. He was down.
I
still managed
so, yeah.
to bring it back to deuce. So, as you said, he's very good at bringing points back even when behind.
Federer now losing out on the first point of this game. We got to see Tom do exactly not that, but exactly what he did in the last game again here, which he's got to pull out pretty much exactly what Josh did to him and really clean up his act. It is Medvedev to serve, so we need to see Josh break this if he doesn't want to lose the set and tie it up. He will then have to win 2 more on top of that. It's looking dire for him here. 3 points down. Medvedev only 1 more to close out this set and put Tom in a very precarious position.
Yeah, but it is Josh's serve, so and he has shown that he is pretty good at those aces, and he's just adding more aces to that tally, just one at a time, just like that's an ace, that's an ace, that's an ace.
And set 1 will very comfortably go into the hands of Josh. He had a little bit of a hard time in game 3 there, but game 4 very much showed that he can end these games quickly. Tom really needs to step up his game here if he wants to try and claw this back. Medvedev now sitting love 15 above his opponent after that little cheeky hit into the net from Josh.
Just Tom does need to just ease up a little bit. And then I say that, and then he gets slightly too late. He's either a little bit too late or a little bit too early on his timings. He just needs to relax a little bit more and just find some better timings. If he needs to, then go for a lob to sort of try and slow the game down. Obviously, that does run the risk of Josh going for a nice volley.
Finds himself a point in the lead, though, does Tom so far. Able to force his opponent into a bad position, forces Josh to make his most common mistake, which is hitting that net. But I believe that might be... Nope, never mind. I would have called the exact same thing, though. Not quite in the box, Tom. Leaving the decision to the umpire. Umpire says no, but second serve will be on the mark. Looking to find that third point of the match and bring it to 40-15 on his own serve. There it is. One more point to find the first game of this set is Tom.
Tom still a little bit off on his timings, but he's at least forcing Josh in awful positions. And he's just not able to find any returns.
Lovely backhand there from the bottom side player. Very good return. Finds it on the left-hand side after running completely across court. Tom finds his second game of the match. And with that, puts himself in a pretty comfortable lead. Now 2 more to find above Josh in order to find this set and pull us to a set 3. If we keep seeing it this way, Adam, we might finally see a 3-game match. A 3-set match.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, this time, Josh wasn't able to break Tom's first serve. But we'll have to see if Tom is able to repay the favor and break Josh's serve. It looks pretty good from the get-go.
Tom the Train building up his momentum now. He's really finding his stride. You can see him. He's making it work, and I, of course, instantly regret cursing Tom. Sorry, Tom. That I'll take blame for that one. Not quite able to find it on the other side of court. But back to Medvedev. It's his serve now. Josh has a pretty deadly serve, but Tom does have a pretty good habit of breaking it. Case in point, with that little cheeky play there. Once again, pots it right on the right side corner. Back to the potentially penultimate point of the game. Second serve for Josh as he hits it just a little shy of the line on both ends. A little bit further forward or a little bit further to the left or a little combination of both would have saved that serve, but unfortunately the umpire says no. Ball was not quite in the mark, and once again this exact same play here. Tom really favoring that right side corner for these wins. Now only 1 point away from forcing Josh to have to win not only 2 games in a row, but then having to find some more after that to be able to win the second set. Although with a serve like that, it could be possible.
Tom is consistently quick with his serves, but he just needs to sometimes hit them just a bit more accurately sometimes. But they are incredibly quick.
Giving him the run around. Tom with a cheeky left-hand corner. There it is. Game number 2 in set 2, and this is it. Adam, this is the game that decides it. Will Tom move on and force the first third set match? There's so many different names for it. Of the tournament, or will Josh be able to come back and claw his way through to that sweet, sweet 2-0 that we've seen all too many times so far in this tournament? Tom definitely looking to make it happen as he secures his first point of the third game in this set. Just 3 more of those and Tom could walk away. It is his serve. Can he find the ace?
He can't find the ace, but he is getting a bit more into his stride, as you keep saying, but his timing's still just a tad bit off. But very, very close to bringing this to, as you said, our first 3-set match.
Finds it from across court there, Tom. Really good at playing these close to the net situations. Once again, lots of space on the left-hand side, and Gonna abuse it, kind of almost baits his opponent there into staying on the right-hand side, thinking he's just gonna hit it back to him, but takes advantage of the wide open court on the left and puts himself 1 point away from set 3. Match point for Tom. Can he find it? Only one more to go. Really favoring this right-hand corner now. Changes it over towards the left, but keeping it here. Trying to find that cross-court shot that we like so much from him, but looks like Josh is able to find one back onto the board. He's down, but he's definitely not out.
No. He's Josh doesn't like to go down without at least a little bit of a fight.
Looking for, once again, a fast-paced volley. Tom not really giving his opponent much time to move. There's that quick right side pot. You see him trying consistently. Josh, however, seals his own grave. Right into the net it goes. And that should be set point in favor of Tom. Tying it up, Adam, 1-1, and bringing us for the first time in our tournament to a third set. It was so clean, nearly.
Yeah, I know.
Nearly
You were doing so well. Do you
Yeah.
expect anything less, though, from a semi-finals, though? The first 3-set match?
Definitely not. I'm very, very excited to see that this is, in fact, the best game that we've had all day. I want to call it a weekend because it's 2 days, but it is, in fact, a Monday and a Tuesday. So a week start. It's been a very good and interesting week start.
Absolutely.
And then, obviously, Wednesday and Thursday are week middles, and then the 3 days at the end of the weekends.
Ah, yes. I can see how you've done that. Yes,
Yeah.
very clever. Yes.
Got to divide up the
Nice and evenly.
schedule. Yeah,
Yeah.
of course. Back to the service, though. However, looks like Josh wins up with that first point. Tom still pretty much on the defensive, staying pretty far back on court here. Tom gets a gimme from Josh once again, hitting it into that net. Really is enjoying playing this game of miniature-sized, net-based two-player football.
Tom, though, does need to be careful because he does keep running low on stamina. He needs to ease up just a tad to help him with his timings. Otherwise, he's just going to potentially just lose points for no reason.
Almost, but I was about to say it's nearly working out for him, but a beautiful ace there from Josh. Gonna secure the tie point back to 30-30. These two players very evenly matched. All about who can get these first couple games, though, who can build that safety net, if you will. Those first two games are quintessential for winning. Tom, though, gets a little bit overcautious, runs away from the ball on the left-hand side, and he is going to give the match point, to Josh. Has to find the deuce here and able to win game one.
I do like Josh's strategy, though. Go for the big boy serve, and then if that doesn't work, go for the nice little underhand.
The driving Miss Grandma is what I like to call it. Or driving Miss Daisy, either one works. Very focused on this right-hand side is Josh. A lot of space on the left side of court, but just did not feel like going for it. Instead, is going to give game one to his opponent. Josh able to walk away with that 1-game lead that could be essential for him to pull a victory. Now, Tom needs to find the next 2 in a row if he doesn't want to have to go for a long set.
Oh, here we go. Another challenge. Tom, I'm proud. These challenges haven't been that bad. We haven't seen any meme challenges. That's probably the quote-unquote worst challenge so far.
Ooh. 211 kilometers per hour serve there by Tom.
Oh!
It is on the line, though, Adam. That is perfectly acceptable here. Tom walks away with an ace.
And well-deserved, and a great challenge.
Here we go on the left-hand side now. This play looking to get aggressive is Tom. Once again, finds that right-hand corner that he's so fond of. Brings it up to 30 love for the server. Federer looking to find this game. He really needs it. He doesn't want to be in a very awkward position later on down the line. Tom once again looking for that ace. Not quite. The return is going to be good from his opponent. Moving around the court are these two players. Keeping it nice and quick-paced is Tom. His opponent wants to slow it down a little bit, but in an attempt to do that, he's going to play football instead.
Yeah, again, really unlucky with that volley. Normally, as I say, volleys are a little bit easier to get the timings for, but just being a little unlucky there. And it going straight into the net. Really powering up there, Tom.
Tom's still looking for this right corner. He's really obsessed with it almost at the detriment of himself. I mean, well, I could only criticize it if it doesn't work, Adam, and Tom has proven that if you just keep going for the same angle, the same play repeatedly, eventually the enemy won't expect it and they'll just let it go between their legs.
Yeah, I mean, it was a perfect shot as well. I mean, look at that, beautiful. Almost getting onto that nice service line, and it was pretty much impossible for Josh to react. I think he was just like, that is a beautiful shot, and just kind of let it just gracefully move across him.
He was admiring the craftsmanship of the serve, of course.
Yes.
Back to trying to keep the pace of the game slow, going for a drop shot here. Is Tom not quite able to find it, playing really far back to avoid getting aggressed onto, but a wonderful backhand to counter. Josh finds it on the right-hand corner once again, bringing himself up to 15 love. That is his serve. Tom needs to find this game, and so does Josh. Whoever does win this one is going to be in a very comfortable position, only need to win one. Meanwhile, their opponent needs to find a game themselves to bring it back, and then, Adam, we have to see another round of 2 games.
Absolutely. Did that just ping off of Federer? Did Federer just catch that? Did Tom just catch that with his face rather than his racket?
He caught it between his heavily muscled thighs.
Lovely. Nice.
Tom in a very precarious situation here. 40 love is the defender. And with that quick parry over to the right-hand side, it's going to be game number 2 here for Josh. Tom now really needs to find these next 2 games to prevent this from going the way of his opponent. Can he find them, though? Tom has had a difficult time trying to bring these back from behind. We typically need to see him with the lead to be able to find those wins.
But we have seen both guys break each other's serves. So Josh very likely, or could still potentially break Tom's serve. Speaking of serve,
being disrupted here for this, and it in fact was out. Tom forced into the second serve here. I thought that was a perfect ace, but apparently the referee disagrees. Not that it matters, though. Tom comes straight back in with a 211 km/h serve. It is on the line this time around, ladies and gents. That is going to be the first ace of this game, and Tom finds himself up by 1.
Oh, very nice there. I don't know why Josh made that decision, but he wanted to.
Really did want to find it. Any excuse to not get aced on. It's a decent one, and as we saw, it was exactly on the line. That, however, was not going to go firmly into the doubles court. Federer up by 2 points here. If this is going to be the reset for Tom, it's looking like a decent shot, as the serve is going to be parried there. It was a nice and fast one, but luckily Josh able to find it. Drop shot from Tom, trying to catch his opponent off guard. Not quite gonna work, however. Josh comes back with a good return and finds it on the right-hand side.
Yeah, some great tennis played by both these guys. Neither of them want to give up at all. They don't want to go to that super tie break. Somebody wants to win.
Well, of course, Tom looking to get this reset on the games here. Tied up the score has Josh. 2 more points to find for each of these players. That was a clean ace, though, from Federer, able to find it. 1 point away now is Tom. He has the service. If he's able to ace this, then he's able to secure that reset and force these 2 players into another set of 2. However, the serve is going to get returned. Josh not letting it go for free. Wide open on the right-hand side, though. Tom going straight back to his most effective tactic, punting it right into that right side corner. and finding the point.
No, 2-2. The set once again tied up. Neither of them have been able to break each other's serve this time. It'll be Josh now to serve. Can he? Oh, look at that little dancing. Very fabulous. I respect the little back and forth.
I believe now, Adam, if my memory is correct, one of these two players now has to win their 5th game with a clearance of 2, up to a maximum of 8. The first player to 8 games, regardless of the score, will be the victor. But gotta make it. This is basically a reset to 0-0.
I think it goes to like a sort of a point system where I think it's a couple more games and then it goes like a sort of point system and then it's first to 2 clear points. But I'm pretty sure that these guys have to at least still get 2 clear games before anyone is decided. So somebody has to get to 5 games. No, 4 games. 4 games. Maths is hard, Robbie. Maths is hard.
Maths is hard. Don't worry about it, Adam.
Thank you.
Here we go. Once again, an ace from Josh here, able to even up the game. We saw this exact situation for Josh in the last game, but of course he was the one serving there. Underarm serve from Josh. Actually looking to just slow down the pace of the game, but Tom, is having none of it. Gonna find that very comfortable right-hand spot for himself. It's a surprise that Josh has not been able to figure out a way to counter that right side point that Tom is so confident in getting. There it is. Ladies and gentlemen, Tom gives himself a clear point, 3-2 at the moment.
Yeah, and breaks Josh's serve. I think one of the biggest issues that Josh is currently facing is he's just a slight bit too far forward. So he's sort of, again, he's not really playing a service line. He's kind of just a little bit far. So you see on the replay, like, look at, he's not really at the service line. He's just a bit too far forward. So the angle is just not great for him. He needs to either decide, am I going to be aggressive and push forward, or am I going to sort of ease up and play a little bit further back?
Well, so far, so good for Tom. One more game to find, I do believe, but he's going to have to come back from this early point loss. 15, love 15, if you want to use the proper terminology for it. Looking once again for this serve. The ace potentially on the mark. The decision has been disrupted by the umpire, but no, the serve will not be on. Slightly too far to the left for Tom there, not able to find it. Second service for the bottom side player.
Tom, unfortunately, now is out of challenges, and he has had some pretty good challenges. Unfortunately, none of them correct, but they've been very close.
They have been definitely reasonable for him to want to challenge those. Playing right up close to the net is Josh this time around. Tom not leaving himself enough space. Should have potentially gone for the lob shot there. Tried to slow down whilst he repositions, but didn't quite. Serves it straight back into his opponent. It's difficult. It is difficult to go for that lob shot when you're in that position. So no disrespect to him. Just didn't quite choose the right situation. However, this time around, Josh comes forward towards the net. Tom not going to stand for it.
No, absolutely not, and nor should he. But obviously, if you do go for a lob shot and your timing is off, it does give your opponent an easy volley. So maybe Tom deciding against it and instead going for a nice perfect to a position.
Potentially, once again, coming up close to the net. The exact same play is going to land Tom in hot water, as he now has to find the deuce in order to find this game. On the flip side, however, though, Josh really pushing for this tie to retie itself, looking for that 5th game to have to win. Tom, though, really does not want that, looking to find his way back over towards the deuce, trying to play that right side corner that he likes so much. It's over towards the left, though. There's going to be the lob from Tom, but a very good retaliation there from Josh is going to put it away on the right-hand side, and once again, tie up the set.
No, and again, semi-finals game. You don't you expect them to be neck and neck at this point, to really be fighting for every point possible. And these guys definitely not wanting to give that up. And both players broke each other's serve, one after the other.
For sure, these two definitely competing at the top of their class at the moment. Tom with a very beautiful right backhand there, but not quite able to find his way back over to the other side of the court, which was left wide open. And of course, was punished. We're back here to a point system now, Adam.
Yeah.
As you,
So this is the super tie break. So this is where the 8 points kind of comes in, and you need 2 clear points to defeat your opponent.
First to 10 points here. They got to get it with, I believe, that 2-point clearance, as you said,
Yes.
Adam. 2 up now is Josh. Tom really has to try and come back here. They got a lot of tennis left to play, though, Adam, so there's still plenty of time for Tom to come back. The decision was disrupted here, as the ball actually did land on the line. The serve is absolutely valid. 1 point to Tom. Very well played. Now, these serves are going to go back and forth. So it's going to be 1 for 1 for 1 for 1 in terms of service. Tom, at the moment, looking to break the serve, not quite able to find it. Josh finds his own point here. Still 2 up from Tom. If he can keep up this spacing, he's definitely going to be able to secure that 2-point clearance that he needs when he reaches 10.
Yeah, and this is quite interesting because now they both have to sort of compete against each other constantly to break each other's serve, and obviously Josh right now in a commanding lead, as he's already broken one of Tom's serves in this super tie break, but unfortunately just giving away a bit of a free point there.
Not quite able to find it on the left-hand side. I'm not really sure what went wrong for him there. Potentially charges up the swing a little bit before he gets into range, but once again, on the bottom-hand side, looks like Tom is looking to catch up, playing that right-hand corner that he really enjoys, and Josh is going to give him the gimme, throws it into the net for his opponent, and now we're back to tie. Adam, how many times have we said that so far this set? This match, in fact, has been completely even. Nearly a perfect serve, though, from Federer to keep it on the ball. Trying to play that right-hand corner once again, but so is Josh. Keeping it right on the line and really making Tom work for it all around the court of these two players going. Tom coming right up close, but is going to leave himself much room to find this one here. Left-hand side of court is all the way open. Tom not able to find his way to it. Moves a little too close to the ball there. Could have easily found it, but doesn't give himself the space.
I'm loving the player cams of these two players. They're definitely having fun. And chatting to each other and being like, "What just happened?" Look at Tom. He knows something's happened there. He's like, "Oh dear, why didn't I stop that serve?" But a great ace from Josh.
For sure, we need to see a couple more of those from him if he wants to keep this going. However, beautiful backhand there from Tom. Slices it down the right-hand side. Looking to once again tie up these points. We're 4-5 at the moment, ladies and gentlemen. This game could not be more neck and neck if it tried. We're going absolutely down to the wire to find the victor here. Tom, back on the service point, looking to find it. Getting forced around the court a little bit. Looks towards the left-hand side, but now forced towards the right. Clear point there for Josh. Hits it into the left-hand side, completely wide open. Tom, not able to find it.
Yeah, Tom needed to go for a lob shot a little bit sooner. I mean, look at that angle that Josh had. There was no way Tom was going to be able to run to the other side of... Poor Federer would have had to have literally teleported to get to that ball.
Which is possible. This is a video game. It can happen, but, you know, lag is a thing, I suppose.
I mean, sure. I mean, maybe if you've got one of those super cards, those super cards might be disabled, but maybe Tom slipped one in.
He
the
slipped
power
in
of teleport.
A small wormhole, a small personal teleportation device, but able to find a pretty similar angle there from Tom to find a point, but nice ace there to once again bring up those 2 points from Josh. It's getting close now, Adam. Just a few more to find from his opponent, and with aces like that, it could be all over. Tom now 3 points needed to find himself back into a lead, and that's without losing 1. Meanwhile, Josh on the other side, only 2 to win. Federer's serve this time around. 1 more point in the bag. Adam, Tom now needs to play this perfectly
He
in order
absolutely
to come out
does.
ahead.
But that was a beautiful return ace from Josh there. And it is Tom's serve, so he's got the advantage. So he needs to put the pressure on right from the get-go, and that's a beautiful lob, beautiful volley though.
The backhand is going to find it. 6-9 at the moment. Nice. I'm enjoying this game, Adam. It's so back and forth, very even between these two players. But once again, onto Josh's serve. Every serve from this man could spell the end of the game for Tom if he finds that ace. Tom clinging on to dear life, leads the left-hand side of the court completely wide open. The lob shot it was going to give him enough time to run over, though, playing it a little slower this time around, looking to force his opponent into a bad position. Playing the court very well, though, as per usual, is Josh. Finding that right-hand corner, but unfortunately, Tom is going to put it into the doubles line. The dispute is not going to go through. 10 points to 6. We have a victor, ladies and gentlemen. Tom walks away defeated. An upset for us at the caster's desk, but a beautifully played game by both of these competitors. What a fantastic game of tennis.
What an amazing game of tennis. And I like how Josh tried to do a little love heart, but just messed it up just slightly there. But those aces though from Josh. If we do see Max and Josh in the finals, I'm expecting to see a lot of aces.
Potentially, or alternatively, do we see a lack of aces due to the skill in these two players to be able to return them? They know exactly what they're looking for. So potentially that skill, having that power themselves might be able to help them out on the counter-attack. But Adam, what a game. I'm honestly a little bit burnt out. That literally, unless Tom had gotten 3 more points, that is the longest possible game that it could have gone to.
Yeah, no, they definitely wanted to prove a point in that semifinals. I would like to think that Brian and Max's game will be similar in terms of going to 3 sets, going to down to the wire, because obviously this is now the semifinals. So like, and I expect something similar again in the finals. You know, I don't want to see one side getting obliterated. I want those close games. I want it to come all the way down to that last point.
Well, if we've seen anything from Josh, it is that he is more than capable of bringing any game back towards a tie. Need I remind you, Adam, in that our second set of the day, we saw Josh bring every single game, bar the final one, to that deuce and was able to pull out ahead in all but one of those cases. And obviously in this game as well, not quite so many deuces, but definitely able to tie up game-wise. Tom, sorry, carry on.
Josh absolutely does love to bring it to the wire, and I don't know why he does it. Maybe he's just very confident. Maybe he makes a couple of mistakes and then that adrenaline kicks in. But yeah, no, he does absolutely love to bring it back. But it is also great to see that he goes sort of either 40 love down or love 40 when it's his serve, and still manages to bring it back most of the time. And I mean, we saw a great example of it there. He brings it all the way to 1 set apiece, 3 games, and then to the super tiebreak.
For sure, it definitely shows his ability to clutch up, if you want to use the esports term, for finding one of those dangerous situations that you are then able to find victory in when maybe you shouldn't be able to. Although, how much of that can we attest to his opponent choking and not quite being able to find those wins? I think in the first set, I think we could definitely say that half of that was on his opponent, Oliver, choking out on a lot of those very early leads that he had. This game, though, I feel like it's less so on Tom there, as we can see from the unforced errors. Tom, very few, only 6 compared to Josh, who walked away with 12 unforced errors into that net for the most part.
Yeah, Josh definitely needs to forget about the net. He needs to not be playing football. He definitely needs to be playing tennis. That is one of his biggest mistakes, and something that he definitely needs to, if he's got time for a quick practice game between now and the finals, to iron out the last few stop as many unforced errors as possible, great. That'll put him in such a great position for the finals. But obviously, if he makes a lot of unforced errors in the finals, is he going to be able to make the comeback? Now, yes, he obviously does bring it back, and like you said, his opponent chokes quite frequently. But are we going to see either Max or Brian choke when it comes down to it? Because these guys do show some quite good resolve.
Well, I mean, looking at the player stats for Max, he also showed up 12 unforced errors here, but we'll have to see how Josh is feeling about going up into Max. Potentially, well, let's not count out Max's opponent. There's still plenty of tennis to be played. We'll have to hear from that later, though, because for now, ladies and gents, let's go back to the studio with Al for the interview.
Thank you, Adam and Robbie. I'm joined by the current leader of the match, Tom. Commiserations to you. How do you feel that game went?
It was pretty amazing, actually. We didn't think it'd be as close as it was. It just proved that we both earned our spots in that semi-final, and but the end-to-end part of it was just incredible. I thought he was going to run away with that after the first set, but managed to claw it back, and then we put it into the tiebreak, and it just kept going from there.
It was amazing to watch, and it has been described as possibly the best match so far of the tournament. How does that make you feel?
That makes me feel better about my own abilities, because I've not been seen on stream yet, so I was like, I was kind of bigging myself up to make it look like, oh, I'm winning, and then we haven't actually seen what I can do. But yeah, fair play. We played a cracking match, and it was really tense in the other room. Everyone getting involved, clapping and stuff.
I could see on the cameras, the tension there. How did it feel having that being your first game on stream?
A bit of pressure, considering it was the semis, and it's like trying to get through to that final for then playing in France. But I think being on the camera before with casting and stuff kind of helped with it. But yeah, it was
the pressure a little
yeah.
bit. Yeah. You also got to the first super tie break as well in this tournament. You've kind of achieved a lot of things in this one game. Considering how long this game went and how many firsts you've kind of managed this, how do you feel regardless, even though you lost?
I still think I played pretty well, to be fair. We got to that super tie break, like I said, the first one. Surprising, it was the first one considering the scrims that we've watched before. But yeah, I just feel we played the best, and Josh got the best of it today.
Oh, that's pretty good to hear. What got you into this tournament as a whole, and did you expect to be to get this far in the tournament?
Definitely not. I thought I'd be out in the first round, to be honest. But yeah, I got an email through the university and Ross just saying there's a tournament involved, and obviously the chance to go to France. I thought, may as well. We could go and get involved. Don't say no to these kind of opportunities, and surprisingly made it through to the semis.
Well, thank you so much for your time. We're now gonna go speak to Josh, who won the game.
Hi, how you doing?
So, we'll get straight into this, right? So, you are the first person to make it to the finals. How does that feel?
It's kind of nuts, to be honest. What a game, firstly, right? I can't. I just want to go take a nap, if I'm honest, because that was just too much. But it was great. Yeah.
Did Thomas' opponent really give you almost a run for your money there?
Yeah, there was a lot of things I didn't expect. A lot of things which purely because he wasn't on the stream, I wasn't able to watch. So it was a surprise. Probably a bit too close to be pleasant, but it was a surprise.
So, are you excited for the potential that you might be going to France and competing internationally, representing the UK, through the fact that you've made it to the final now?
Yeah, I mean, it's a privilege to be here, just to get to the final. But I just want to take it one step at a time. Don't want to look too far ahead, because that's when mistakes are made.
Okay, so not letting your emotions get too much of control before the finals.
Yeah.
Good way of thinking. So you're going to be going up against Brian or Max, which is almost the jewel of the confident tennis players, to put it politely. What are your predictions, personally, of the game, and who would you rather go up against?
Personally, I'd prefer to go up against Brian. The pink headband's a bit too intimidating for me. Not a fan of it, but if it works for him, it'll work for him. So honestly, I'll prefer to go up against Brian, but I can't predict it. I feel like it's going to be another close one, and yeah, I'm just looking forward to getting to play again.
Yeah. when you first originally applied for the esports course, and did you ever consider that you would be invited to an opportunity like this and get this far? Did it
No.
ever cross your mind?
Straight up, no. It's I've always had one of those mentalities where a lot of stuff happens for other people, and I've opened myself up to say yes to a load more opportunities, and this is where it's got me. So I encourage everyone to just say yes, give it a go.
I mean, clearly it's a working mindset.
Yeah.
So just as a quick last point, are you more of a showman in terms of these games? Seeing as the games have been really, really close, are you trying to make the games more entertaining, or?
I mean, yeah, throw a couple of memes in there, you know, a couple of lob shots which I could have done without, but end of the day, it's all just fun and games, and when it gets down to real nitty gritty, we'll get down to it, and can't wait for that bit.
Well, yeah, well, thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate it. We're now going to be going to a short break. Take it away, guys.
and welcome back to the Roland Garros E-Series by BNP Paribas. We are now going into the last semi-final of the day, and as well as mine and Tom's last cast.
Unfortunately, it's been great.
It has been amazing, and watching your game was, oh my god, it was stunning. However, I'm kind of glad that you did lose because I get to have you back here in the studio.
I was thinking in the back of my head like, oh, it's going so well, but Aladdin's going to be on his own. So this is
the real reason why you
well,
lost.
that's what I'll say. That's what I'll stick to. Not that he was better than me, but
I'd stay here for my boy. But on a more serious note, we're now going to find out who in this game will go on to fight for that final spot to represent the UK in the international tournament. And we can almost feel the excitement and the tension. In the other room, all these players are now looking between Brian and Max. Who between these two is going to go on to face against Josh for that opportunity?
that's it. You can feel it now. When you're in that room playing, you can feel the buzz now between the other players. Just even the ones that are just watching it, let alone the ones that are taking part now in this other semi-final. You can see Max is ready, Brian's ready. Both of them full of energy. They're getting ready, and but it should be a cracking semi-final. This.
It's going to be pretty amazing. I cannot think of any two bigger personalities that we've had so far from the stream to compete against each other. I just think the post-interview, post-game interview is going to be pretty saucy.
It's going to be brutal. Whoever wins is going to be all over the person who loses.
There may or may not be some trash talking. We will have to see. So just loading into the game now. Waiting for opponent.
So yeah, same rules, 3 sets, 3 games, super tiebreak if it comes to it. And we're going to see Max pick Cilic again and Brian with Nadal.
Well, too surprising there.
This is it. This is the last. This is the semi-final to declare the second finalist. This is like you're playing for so much here. Yeah.
And with both players having, I guess, putting so much at stake with what they've mentioned on screen so far, they've definitely got to be feeling the effect of their words now. They've got a lot to back up here. They're saying they're untouchable. They're saying they can't be beaten. Well, you got to prove it here and now. Are you going to make it to that final spot and go to France, or are you just going to watch that ball pass you?
Good point there straight away for Brian. You can see that he's taking up more of a forward stance with Max's serve. He's stepping quite far forward to deal with it. If you look, he's just coming further in, like halfway up the court almost. He is getting rid of that serve. He's figured out how to deal with it. Watching these two in scrims for the past couple of weeks has been insane because their matches, they can go for quite a long time. So this could potentially should be another tie break.
Well, a super tie break.
Yeah.
Do you generally think it will get to the same length as your game, or could we potentially see one of the players overtake the other?
I really think it's going to go to a super tiebreak. I can't split these two players. I can't think who's better, who's not. I'm not sure Max can even see the screen through that tiny gap in between his headband and his mask. But
looking like a ninja at the moment.
He's trying to sneak straight past Brian. Good return there from Brian as well after a very hard serve.
Yeah, Max just about missing the ball there. Bit strange. I think his character model was definitely right next to it. Maybe again they are playing for quite a bit, so it would be fairly understandable to have some of the nerves setting in. I know I'd be shaking if someone was like, "Well, if you lose, you're not going to France."
But you can tell they're turning on the style now. These two, they're pushing each other so far apart. Bit more fast-paced than the games we've seen. You can tell they are ready. They are really want to represent UK in the finals in France.
Well, I think we will go to seeing a super tiebreaker. I think we're going to end up getting there a lot quicker because these two players seem to play a much more aggressive play style. They don't want to wait too much. There's kind of, I'm going to get this opportunity now. As soon as they see it, they use it. And just as you saw that last point, Max took it very easily. He just directed, again, his opponent to one side. Bam, straight to the other, gets the point. And he does it again there.
Seen a bit of a longer rally there.
Already
good shot
at the juice.
It's looking like this is going to be the theme of the day. Going to be juices, equalising set points, etc., all the way to a tiebreak.
Will you be upset if their game is just as close as?
if they take the title of best game so far, it's like, oh, we've just got it from the other semi-final. Let me have that one thing at least.
Advantage to Max now.
But yeah, Brian's still taking that quite aggressive standing point, going quite far up the court. returning the serve, but it's paying off for him. He's returning every serve. There's been no aces yet from Max, which is a forte of his, considering he got 15 in the last match.
Oh, thought that was going to go out for a second, but not Brian, sorry. Well, he's waiting for it last minute.
Well played there from Max to bring that point back. Looked like Brian might have walked away with that first game, but clawing it down from 40-15 and winning the first one of the first set.
A good start for Max there. Into game 2. Brian serving. Strong serve down the middle. Trying to force Max to come a bit close there.
I've seen a lot of net play now between these players.
Oh,
I'm not scared to go forward.
Definitely trying to apply pressure. Both players trying to outsmart each other, but in the end, Brian managed to hit out, just getting past Max.
That's it, Nadal. Brian just putting it past Max down that, going along down the side.
The ball's getting very close to Max, and he's kind of letting a lot of opportunities slip here, considering how much is at stake here. You would have thought he'd be playing a bit more like that. That's what we like to see. His signature.
From him, yeah.
You know, go here, I'm going to shoot there.
Yeah.
Is there a name for that? Is there a specific? There must be a name for this move.
I think it's a slice they're going for. Slicing it across.
Hope it's slice. That sounds very satisfying.
I could be making it up as I go.
Although nowhere near satisfying as those strawberries and cream we saw earlier on the stream.
Yeah. Very jealous of Robbie and Adam having those.
Please share them with us next time.
Ooh, good serve there from Brian. Showing that you can get the aces as well. Not quite as powerful, but still effective.
It would be nice if we just see another ace now, just kind of giving Max a taste of his own medicine, like, here's another ace, here's another ace. Oh!
Ooh, almost gets it. Max just have to stretch for that. Unluckily for Brian, just can't get it over the net.
Just messing up a little bit there. Just handing over 3 points to Max.
That's it. He doesn't want to be giving those points away too early, especially this crucial at the point. He wants to make sure that he...
No, it's only the final. It's not like... It's like this is everything they've been building up towards.
It's not like you can go to France for free, take part, go to the French Open.
And represent the entirety of the UK.
No pressure.
No pressure at all. The player's hands start shaking. bit of a quick paced, volley back and forth between the two players. Just Max he just thought the net was feeling a bit left out there. Thought, pig in the middle, let's make it feel a bit included.
All about inclusivity.
So we're now at a deuce again.
You can see Brian's good pump reaction there from Brian getting that point. But Max still giving a bit of the trash talk, giving the old sleeper. So you see Brian's visibly bumping up and down. He's literally full of energy for this.
I mean, I would be as well. I could not sit in a seat thinking that a virtual tennis game would provide so much.
So imagine that this is the semi-final to get to. Imagine the final if he gets through. He'll be rocking the camera.
And he's going to be up against a quite tough opponent. Oh, Max bringing it back down to a deuce, taking away the advantage away from. Oh wait, or was the advantage towards Max?
Yeah.
Yeah, towards Max. And Brian taking it away from him.
Oh, sorry. It was other way around.
Or was it the other way around?
Yeah, Brian had the advantage. Well, I just said yeah and then thought nope.
The point is Max is taking it back again. It's down to Brian to try and steal that away from him, or maybe give up. Nah, he's definitely not going to give up. Oh. I don't think I could ever imagine him doing that.
Every point is going to be like a match point now.
Definitely players starting to focus a whole lot more.
Nice rally between the two players here.
Definitely doesn't want to let himself get caught in his trap of being distracted to one side.
They don't want to give an inch to either player. Oh, that looked like it could have been going out there. Surprised that Max got that in. But still gets the return shot there from Brian. Max is laughing to himself there. He's very confident. Oh, Brian's looking a little bit down. Come on, Brian.
Come on, Brian. You got this, bro. You got this.
Give us some energy, mate. It's only 2 games.
Not seeing his usual cocky smile there, but Max definitely feeling a bit chuffed with himself there.
Definitely. You see Brian going forward again to counter that serve from Max.
Brian knows what to do. He's not unfamiliar with games like this. He knows that he just needs to be more aware of how he's playing, because in the end, the way Max is playing isn't necessarily overcomplicated. He is doing similar patterns. He needs to just look through a way to counter that and potentially overcome it. But at this rate, Max will continue to just keep repeating the same thing.
Yeah.
Not much else to really say.
That's it. It's, Brian has been playing well. His head's getting a bit down. He don't want to let that happen to himself. He mistime his step there. Max saying, bring it. Come on, bring me that final. Bring me that place in France. But,
going for it straight with that confident ace. It's starting to look a bit rough out here for Brian. Definitely at this moment, he's probably trying to forget now what's at stake. Right now, he's definitely going, okay, this is just a game. I've played this many times before. I played against this opponent as well. He knows how to play against Max. It's just about taking that step back and remembering. Oh, it's almost remembering how to play, because he definitely has done it before. And
just these errors that are just costing him. Mind games.
Saluting at his opponent's mistakes, but
Brian, you can tell Brian's feeling it a bit now. Maybe the occasion's trying to get into him. So the first set goes to Max.
So there's still potentially 2 more sets. He can still do this. It's not the end at all.
Oh no, there's still plenty of time.
And the more they play, the more Brian will have the chance to get used to how he plays. Yeah. Unfortunately, these round after round of Max scoring will start to eventually take a toll. This is all going to come down to his personal mental. If he can keep through this and soldier on, I really see no reason why he can't bring this back and still win.
True.
But someone with a less rigid mindset, should we say, would definitely start just, half-heartedly trying to play, just want to get it over with. But Brian definitely doesn't strike me as that kind of guy. He's definitely going to go, I tried. See, and there we go.
You with an ace there you go. That's the reply you're looking for.
Thank you, Ryan. An ace to try and bring him back into the swing of things, give him that bit of confidence.
I believe we were talking about the mental game before when watching Max and Luke, saying it's a long game, so it could affect how they play. But that also can affect Brian having to wait quite a long time to get back onto the court. It was decision disputed here. So you got Max relatively a bit more fresh than Brian, having played the game previously before mine. So that also may be playing a factor with Brian trying to get into it.
Yeah, just trying to warm up, whereas Max is like, he's already there, like his fingers are all completely warmed up, his head's like only thinking about tennis.
His vision is literally just toned down just to the screen. He can see nothing else, block out.
The more you look, I suppose it's getting smaller, the more he plays. By the end, he'll just be blindfolded.
I thought he was going to get an ace there from Brian. Well, so it's break point.
Brian can definitely bring this to a deuce. Again, however, that said, it's going towards Max again.
Shaking his head.
Brian looking a bit frustrated there with himself.
A lot of looking downs now. None of these W's, none of the hearts anymore. He's getting serious Brian mode now.
This is only the first game they're out this set. It's nothing too much to worry about. If you can just get, again, he's had the warm up now of a few games. And
as soon as you say it, as soon as you say it, that's it. Caster's cut.
Nah,
great serve there from Max.
Max definitely looking very strong in this, and again, like yesterday, looking very confident, but nothing to put Brian away yet.
Oh no, even just watching this match, it may seem like it's all going in Max's favour, but Brian is getting a lot of good shots and he's getting them returns on the serve, so there's not been as many aces compared. I think Max is trying to sign something to us there, but yeah, Brian is playing still an amazing game. He's just a few unforced errors which he needs to rectify. Just a bit of confidence maybe as well.
Yeah, that could just well be after, again, multiple games with similar results. Does take that time, and it's only a matter of winning that one game, then you get into that second game and you start feeling it like, oh, I can do this. This opponent isn't unbeatable. He does have weaknesses, and it's just a matter of trying to find that under pressure, I find, rather than a game, because I'm sure if Brian looked at this game from a third-person perspective, he might find it a lot easier, but especially knowing that, this is for that final, for that position, it definitely affects you, because he's got the skill. He's made it to the quarterfinals and he's made it to the semi-finals.
Yeah, we can't discredit what he's done. He's made it all this way. He's earned it on merit. This was a dispute here, but it was definitely out. So that makes it 2 games to Max in the second set.
One more game to Max, and I believe he will win another set and thus win the match.
Yeah, it's looking. The numbers don't lie. It is looking a bit more one-sided towards Max this time, but hopefully Brian can make that comeback. And as soon as I say that, he hits it out. But
this is the match where everything is sort of depending on. If he can't bring it back here, it's definitely going towards going towards Max onto the final to play against Josh. But yeah, it'll be quite unfortunate seeing as Brian had a lot of fighting talk. He had a lot of fighting spirit in him. I wouldn't want this to be the end. I'd definitely like to see a bit more of a stretched out game from Luke. From Luke? From Brian.
If Luke coming back, fair enough. But but yeah, we've seen a lot of confidence from Brian so far. But hopefully he can regain that. But he needs to keep these errors from not happening. These errors are the ones that are costing him now. He's just giving Max more points.
Exactly.
Putting Max in a more advantageous position. But Max isn't hitting the shots isn't earning these points. It's Brian just giving them to him.
Exactly, because the thing with Max is that he can score the points. He already has that strategy in his head of how he wants to do it. We spoke about it earlier, even with the new updates and people trying to use new techniques against him. He just simply switches back to the old one, uses that to beat them.
Yeah.
If he has any hope of trying to get over this, he needs to start. He needs to come up with like a different strategy other than just.
He doesn't want to be doing that right now. Doesn't want to be doing that. He's shaking his head. He can see he might have lost a little bit of a. He's shaking a bit.
Yeah, lost his momentum there. Looking off to the side.
But now this is the most important point of the match. Well, for Max, this could be it. This could be his road to the final, with only one more stepping stone in the form of Josh.
Oh, getting a bit slow there. Bit of low drops.
Oh,
Hit
for a
to
lob.
the back.
Oh, good return there. I thought good match point there, and Max takes it. It's very surprisingly dominant fashion in the second set. I thought it was going to be a bit more close. But there we have it. We have our second finalist. And now Max will be going on to face Joshua for the prestigious title of going to France to represent the UK and Staffordshire University. Just a quick look at the stats here. There's only 2 aces apiece, surprisingly, but 100% first serve accuracy. So very consistent between the players. But again, Brian showing that them aces can be dealt with. And then you can see on the right hand side, Brian just doing the couple of unforced errors, a few too many, just giving a lot of points away in that last game. And that is eventually what cost him. Brian, and Max takes it, and he goes to the final to face Joshua. Very surprisingly that it went through 3-0, 3-0. I thought it was going to be a lot closer myself and Aladdin, actually thinking that it was going to go for the full tie-break, like mine and Josh's matches previously. But Max showing that the confidence paid off, and the confidence that he showed yesterday and throughout this competition is keeping him going. I believe we have Aladdin and Max ready for an interview. So if we cut over.
How are you feeling, Brian?
Well, just disappointed in myself, really. You know, I felt like I could have played a lot better, but you know, a lot of mistakes were made. The statistics did not lie. He was the better player. You know, you got to give it to him.
You did play pretty well, but so did you, and we've got to give you credit that you did play very well in the earlier game. So what do you think happened in that game, and what was going through your mind during the match?
Well, it's that, you know, I was used to like the old patch. He had the new patch a lot better, so it's like getting the timings in. Like I was practicing with another player as well, and like since some circumstances I had to change last minute, and like height is an advantage. He had like 10 to 15 centimeters on me, so he serves a lot better, and I just misplayed a lot really.
So how do you feel that you managed to get to the semi-finals
Ah.
at the very least?
I feel good. You know, I feel happy. I wished that I could have made it to the finals. Like, I thought he was on the other side of the bracket, to be honest, because that's how I was meant to be. It was meant to be hitting the other side of the bracket and then meeting the final, and then I would have felt more confident then. But I wasn't prepared, honestly, for like meeting him so early on into the game.
So going into the final game. So this is whoever goes onto this is gonna. It's a big deal. Goes to France, represents the UK.
Yeah.
Josh versus Max. What are you telling me? Who do you think is gonna win?
Honestly, I want Josh to win. You know, I really want Josh to win, but I feel like Max will take it away. He's been the better performing player this tournament.
One Josh, but think Max. Interesting. Is there anything you want to say to the people at home who have been supporting you and watching you play so far?
Yeah, no, to be honest, I just want to say thank you to everyone here, like all the background people, like the tech, you know, Ross, everyone that is helping, Adam, Robbie, you know, Stu for letting this happen and letting us be here. And like Mama, Papa, let's get on with you. I love you guys. Lena, love you too.
Well, thank you so much for peace of your mind. We're gonna now switch over to Max, the winner of the game. Max, how are you feeling, man?
Just same as always. It was expected.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're acting very, very relaxed, considering you're now moving on to the final. What's going through your head right now?
I've already played the 3 best players that I could have possibly played in the tournament.
Okay.
It's just a cakewalk now.
So, do you think that this game against Josh is going to go easily?
Probably won't go quite as easy as
Okay.
against Brian. I was expecting Brian to play a little bit better in that game, but it just wasn't his day.
So, with the fact that you're going to the final, is the fact that you're going to you could possibly represent the UK and go to France for this tournament, is that affecting you at all, or?
Not at all. This is a tournament just like any other. Who I represent doesn't really matter to how I perform.
Interesting. How bad would you say you want this opportunity?
I mean, obviously I want the opportunity to represent my home country would be a massive honour. But like it's not affecting me. Like it's just any other game, really.
So, what would you say to Brian after that game?
It's just unlucky. Wasn't his patch. Wasn't his day. He can try again next time.
So all the people who are probably looking at you now going, I want to be Max. Like, I want to be in this position. What would you say has helped you the most towards your success today? And what advice would you give to those people?
If you really want to win, then you've got to come in wanting to win, thinking you're going to win every game, and you've got to prepare like you're going to win every game. Like I've done a load of spreadsheets that I've shared amongst all of the people here, and gotten loads of stats behind the game as well to help me prepare.
Oh, I mean, that seems like you've put like a lot of time and thought into these
a lot of
strategies.
time.
So, do you have any last fighting talk words that you wanna say to Josh before we end this?
I don't think it's really worth any of them.
Chee! We're now going to be. Thank you so much for letting me pick your minds. We're now going to be going to a short break, and we'll be right back in a bit. Back to the studio.
having a good stretch there.
Yeah. Listen, I'm getting warmed up. Unlike Brian, who clearly was not properly
don't do that.
stretched and warmed up last match. He got so shut down that I'm in pain, Adam. My muscles were in pain. I had to really stretch out the tension I felt watching Brian get demolished that hard by one of two finalist contestants. We have Mad Max and Jumping Josh.
There we go. Okay, I was wondering if you just forgot his name. I can't let you murder my poor boy Brian like that. No. Like
I'm sorry, man. It wasn't his day.
Those statistics. No, it absolutely wasn't his day. And I can tell you from watching that replay, I know exactly when his confidence went from 100% to 0%. I can even probably get a Twitch clip. And it was when Max did an underhand serve, and obviously Brian had been quite close to the net and anticipating, and he volleyed the serve, and obviously that's a fault. And I don't think he realized, and then he went, oh. And then obviously Max had the advantage, and then he lost that first game. And that is when Brian's confidence went from, yeah, I can win this, to, oh no. And no, I feel so bad for my poor boy, because after that, he was just so sad the entire time. And I was just like, oh no, poor Brian. I just wanted to go and give him a hug.
Yeah.
Because he looked so sad.
You could definitely see it on his face. Just the toll that game took on him. You got to feel bad for Brian. But let's not look back, Adam. Let's look forward to the final matchup of not only the day, but the tournament. We have, as I stated earlier, Max coming up against Josh Griffin. Now, this is kind of, to me, like a unstoppable force versus a movable object kind of a matchup, right? Max, we've seen him so far throughout the entire tournament, has been this unstoppable machine. You know, barring that first set, the last two games that we've seen him in, he's been playing phenomenally. Meanwhile, on the other side, we see Josh, who hasn't won any games as cleanly as Max has, but has shown the resilience to hold in tight, dig his heels in, and stand his ground and pull back into the game, even if that means extending it out as long as it can possibly go.
No, absolutely. But whoever does win will be representing us and staffs over in France. So it will be a fantastic final, and I am really looking forward to whoever can pull out whichever crazy victory they can. Is it going to be a bit of a cheesy strategy, or is it going to be some proper tennis?
And speaking of representing something, and well, funnily enough, you mentioned staffs there as well. We want to give a big thank you, of course, to our sponsors. We have the wonderful Roland Garros, who are responsible for putting all this together. And I was about to say making us all be here, like they're holding us at some sort of point. But thank you. Thank you so much, Roland Garros, for allowing us to put on this event with the help of Staffordshire University, another one of our sponsors, alongside the other two that I will let you do.
BNP Paribas and the British Esports Association. Thank you guys for helping us.
Thank you very much indeed. We obviously would not be able to be here without them. Roland Garros, of course, setting up this kind of event all around the world to bring as many countries as possible together for those finals that we will be seeing whoever wins out of this matchup go towards. Now, Adam, I've already kind of put my perspective out here on the board, the unstoppable force versus the immovable object. Got there in the end.
We got there in the end. We take those.
What is your interpretation of this match? How are you feeling about it?
So obviously Max definitely has a lot of technical skill that I don't think anyone can deny. Everyone has so far, every single competitor has said that he has a lot of technical skill. I definitely agree. The only thing I do think that Max doesn't necessarily lack is confidence when it comes to interviews. But on camera, when we're watching the player cam, like right now, obviously, as our co-commentators Tom and Aladdin said, I don't know how he sees through that tiny gap But even then, you do see that there are moments where he gets frustrated, and when it comes to his opponent, nice little hand wave from Josh. I do think that he definitely brings it back from behind, and I do think he's got that mental fortitude. So I don't think it's necessarily just a case of one side is going to be just so much better. I do think that I want there to be a good back and forth.
For sure. Like, I think this this matchup in particular, right? If we're talking about the mental state of these two players, as you said, Max can get very hot-headed. He can get very into it and frustrated if he messes up. But I almost feel like that feeds his play style. Max has this very aggressive capability. Meanwhile, Josh has this very cool, calm, collected mental fortitude that we want to see. And as we go ahead and get ready to go into game, I'm very excited to see how these two differing personalities will clash in this game.
Yeah, and I really want to see more of Max's interesting playstyle, because he's very, as I said, he's got a lot of different techniques that he likes to use. I mean, as you said, abused poor Brian with them earlier. So Josh obviously got a bit of an advantage of being able to see what Max does bring to the table. I'll be interested to see if Josh takes Brian's strategy of coming a bit more forward when it comes to Max's serve, or if he's going to play it a bit further back. But I have heard again from many other people that Max does have a great serve and does often ace people. So I'll have to see if he's able to beat the record of the number of aces in a single match.
I think Max, across the board for the tournament, has the highest number of aces total, if I'm not mistaken. I'm sure production will let me know. But, I mean, starting it off strong, showing us exactly that ace game straight away. Number 1 point, 15 love for the server. Max starts it off strong. Can he repeat that ace? No, he can't. A beautiful parry there from his opponent to keep it going and bring us into the first rally of this game. Max trying to keep it a little bit more fast-paced. Meanwhile, on the other side, it looks like his opponent trying to keep it a little bit slower. The first mistake to come through here, Max hits it into the net, and I did just have confirmation, Adam, that Max is in fact the player with the highest number of aces total during this tournament.
I think that Josh, though, has the highest number of aces in a single match. But I believe that, yeah, Max, as we just got confirmation of, has the most total number of aces. And yeah, showing off his great ace skills.
Well, so far, that is where both of his points have come from. Can he make it a third? Nope, not quite yet. Once again, bringing it into the rally stage is Josh. We've seen time and time again that Josh is pretty decent at this rally stage. And as he puts it into that left-hand side, it's almost a sign of defiance that he will not get shut out as hard as Brian.
Stop, poor Brian. No, the poor boy got murdered. He doesn't need to get murdered again.
I mean, he shouldn't have gotten murdered so hard the first time. That's my take, you know. Didn't want to get murdered again. He should have been murdered once. But unfortunately,
No, go on.
I was just gonna say, unfortunately, for our boy Josh, hits it into the doubles line there.
Yeah, I was gonna say it was a nice rally up until that slight fumble. They sort of edged closer and closer together. I almost thought they were gonna high five and yes, do something fun, but obviously not.
Back to the service now for Max. Not able to find the ace to close out the game. Is very good at controlling this ball at the moment, really forcing the runaround from Josh here, who is going to hit it wide. That is going to be out for Josh, and with that, wrapping up the first game in favor of Max.
Yeah, I think he tried to go for a drop shot there right at the end, and as I've said a few times, they are one of the hardest to get a good timing for. But yeah, I mean, this is why, again, serves are just so powerful, and when used by the right person, can really control, where your opponent is. I mean, poor Josh, as you said, being given the runaround, going from far left to far right, and just couldn't get a good stance going.
Swapping serves now, though. Josh on the offensive. Max this is probably his weaker point in the game. His rally game hasn't been fantastic like we have seen from Josh, who is able to do very well on both. I think Josh represents a more well-rounded version of this matchup. He's very good at these serves, but his rally game, at least his long rally game, is a lot more consistent than Max's. However, Max able to take a point back near instantly there in a quick 4-point rally. 15-15 is the score at the moment.
Yeah, it's really hard for your character when your opponent hits those perfect shots. No matter where they are on the court, they are just so deathly accurate.
Looking to potentially slow down the pace of the game is Josh, but once again goes for a cheeky backhand and hits it into the net. One of Josh's notable weaknesses is that net. He's like a moth to a flame.
That blasted net! Maybe if, do you think we can get a rule for Josh to remove the net? Maybe he'll do better.
Potentially, although I'm not sure at that point that would be tennis, Adam.
No,
Doesn't
maybe
look
not.
like he needs the assistance, though. Able to even up the game now, 30-30. Still 1 point in the lead. Still one game. Nope. So yeah, no, still one game in the lead. Is Max. Had to think about that for a second there.
Maths is hard.
Maths is hard. Never do maths on cast is what I've been learning over the past couple months. But looking to get very aggressive here is Max, moving very close up to the net, but leaves himself wide open for a beautiful return on the right-hand side. The decision is being disrupted. Was in fact out.
I feel really bad for Josh on that one. He predicted that really well, because a lot of people so far have sort of just hit it straight back to Max, but he decided, no, I'm going to go to the other side of the court, and even predicted where Max was going to be. Oh, beautiful slice there. Oh, there was absolutely nothing Josh could do on that one.
Not in the slightest. Now setting 2-0. Max really blitzing through these finals at the moment of these two competitors, which doesn't really play well for Josh. Josh is a very slow, methodical player going for that back half. Potentially, we see him try and slow down the pace of the game soon, but if it's not soon, it might be never.
No, I mean, if he needs a break from his mentor, he has, got this game to settle down a little bit and then go for the second set. He still has, another entire set to get some games on the board.
For sure, there's plenty of tennis left to be played here, but if Josh keeps playing it like that, I'm not sure we'll be here for very long, Adam. Once again, finding the net is Josh.
But again, this is where, as you said, Max plays so well. Those serves are just unbelievable every time.
I think that's more poor positioning from Josh, though. You could tell that Max was going to go for this very clean down the center of court serve, but as you can see, every single time we see Josh, he's waiting on the opposite side of the court and, well, able to predict it correctly that time around, but giving him the runaround is Max, able to return it pretty well. Josh finds the right-hand corner, but that is going to be pretty
Let's go. Come on.
The doubles side. Very unfortunate for Josh.
Can we have one of these challenges that is incorrect? I want I just want one before the end of the stream.
We actually for a while, or at least up until this game, the challenge counter was on a 4% accuracy, meaning that 2 out of 48 challenges were correct. In fact, now it's 2 out of 50. So very low percentage chance that those challenges are going to go through. Very quick pace back and forth here between these two players. Able to very accurately get hands on these balls here in the second set. It's like Medvedev finally losing out. Sorry, winning out on that. I got my my sides confused there, but the first point of set 2 does go the way of Josh, and if this is an omen of things to come, Josh might be in a decent spot.
And here we go. He might have lost the first set, Robbie, and as I said, chance to reset that mental. You've got an entire set to even it up, and straight away gets 2 nice points, one from an ace and one from some nice play by forcing Max out of position.
Has to maintain this level of play, though, keeping calm as Max is going to hit it into the net. giving Josh only 1 point needed now to win the first game of this set. If we can continue to see Josh playing like this, then definitely got a chance to bring back and become that immovable object that we know that he can be, but he's got to maintain this rally with Max. Stepping a little too far forward to the net, though, is going to prevent him from doing that. Loses out on his first point of the set.
Yeah, I don't like his decision to go for a safe serve there. That could have been the first time that Max actually gets whitewashed and just loses his entire game without even, taking a point. But I didn't like Josh's decision there to do the safe serve. But I like to see these decided not to do it again. Oh, beautiful volley there.
Perfectly done, and with that, Josh claws his way back. Is doing better than the previous opponent of Max already.
Managed just to get a
game of the set.
Oh, poor Brian. He's never going to live this down.
Man got demolished. I don't know what to tell you. He was the first person to lose a match in this tournament perfectly.
Just don't volley serves forehead.
Back to Max's serve. This could be deadly here for Josh, our protagonist. If Max is the villain of this saga, then surely the anime protagonist is Josh here, looking to shield up and try and mount a defense. But with 2 back-to-back aces so far, Max definitely putting up a solid offense. Can Josh recover in the back half of this match and try and pull it back to that second game lead that we need to see him get to maintain a decent advantage over his opponent? So far, not looking good.
No, it's not. But we have seen James come back from... Josh come back from these kinds of situations. And I do feel really bad for him. This is where Max's serves are just so good that he's able to... he's either got to guess, is it going to be dead on that center line or is it going to be in one of the corners? Josh has to make almost like a split-second decision. And I think that's why... you saw Brian move forward, because he had so much more success when it came to at least returning Max's serves. But it does put you in such a difficult position moving so far forward. And that was a very clean whitewash for Max there.
Evens up the score for the second set. Josh now needs to win 2 in a row in order to secure his first victory. And, well, there's going to be the 15-love start to Josh's serve. Both of these players seem a lot more comfortable when they are in control of that start. Service really giving these two players a lot of confidence in their ability. Back to the rally stage, though. No ace so far for Josh, but a beautiful slice across to the left-hand side of the map is going to secure point number 2 and bring up the 30-love mark here for Josh. Could this finally be it?
If only Josh had played like this in the first set, he would be in a much better position points-wise. But it's good to see that he's not going down without a fight.
And unfortunately, still not able to find the, to use your terminology, the whitewash against his opponent. Able to get onto the board is Max, 30-15 at the moment. The scores on the doors as the service comes in through here from Josh. Back through onto the rally. The return was good. Drops a lob shot. Now trying to find the pace. Moving forward a little bit closer to the net now is Max, leaving some of these corners exposed. Meanwhile, Josh choosing to stay about halfway up the court. Look at that. Really giving Max the runaround and finally able to secure it up onto that right-hand side. Very well played there from Josh. Staying super calm, super collected, and not overcommitting.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And again, hopefully an opportunity for Josh not to get his serve broken. All he has to do is just get one more point. And there he is.
Forward to the net. Once again, losing out on a game due to a unforced mistake. Max sweating a little bit behind the collar here. All he has to do now, does Josh have to win one game, and then he's tied up the sets 1-1. And we will go to a 3-set final, Adam. How exciting is that?
Mate, do you know what? I want this to go to a 3-set final because it's deserved. Both players have played so well in this tournament that to have just 2 sets would be a travesty.
Hopefully, we will get that request fulfilled. However, it is Max's serve, one of the most dangerous serves of the tournament, has Max. As we keep saying, I know it might sound repetitive, ladies and gentlemen, but even on an angle like that, Josh proves his capability in this long rally game, able to completely catch Max off guard there, but coming straight back in with a return ace. Max evens up the score.
Yeah, I'm very surprised Max got away with that. Sorry, Josh got away with that. Wow, I'm doing it now too. That slice was incredible from Max, and then to be able to return it with Max not capitalizing. Josh can count himself lucky on that one, but very unlucky to slip up on that one. I think his previous few returns were just slightly mistimed, so his character didn't quite manage to get back into position.
There's a playstyle I don't particularly like from Josh, showed off in that last point there, as Max edges closer to balancing out the scores here and forcing Josh into having to win a few more games to find that victory. Josh, very good at playing this back game. I don't really enjoy watching him push up towards the net. Not that it's going to matter if he can't get into the rally stage. Brian is dead. Brian is dead. That's what I was going to say.
Brian is dead.
Max wiping off the stress away from his shoulder, tying up the set 2 for 2. Josh now has lost his advantage and needs to find another 2 games in order to win.
Yeah, Max's serve is just so much more lethal than Josh's. But if Josh gets into a rally, he's just, I mean, look at that. That's just, again, another unforced error for Max going straight into the net. Josh has done so much fewer unforced errors this time around. But he just needs to not get caught out by Max's serve. Was that? Oh, no, unfortunately, a fault. I thought that was an ace there.
Not quite. Goes for a safe underhand serve there. Very unexpected, apparently, there from Max, who now is moving forward, but does not give him enough space to breathe. And Josh, able to find that little gap in his armor, shoots it behind him. Max, looking like he might be sweating a little bit here. 2 points down. 2 left to find from his opponent. Potential ace here. Not quite on the line, so Josh will have to go for the second service.
That one was a bit questionable from Josh, but I respect it.
Just better safe than sorry at the end of the day. If you can eke out that point, it could make all the difference here. As back into the rally game are these 2 players. Max once again right up and close to the net, but not quite able to find the same punish that he has done in the past. Josh loses out on a point now. 30-15 between these 2 players. Josh has to win on his serve, or else he's going to be in a very difficult position going forward. Rallying it back into the doubles line. Max, a little bit too much power there. Gives break point now to Josh.
Would you say he was on maximum power?
He was definitely up there. Second service.
Unfortunately, Josh definitely needs to be hitting some of these first serves. But at least he's giving it a good go.
I think it's fine. As long as he isn't double faulting, which we don't see much of in this tournament. No. It doesn't really matter if you miss out on that first serve. Test out the enemy's defense a little bit. Test out whether or not you can get away with that cheeky ace. Max, however, bringing the score back a little bit. Now 1 point away from bringing it back to a deuce, which if Josh is forced into, could be a bad position, but never mind. Not wanting to slip into that deuce spot. Josh going to bring himself 1 point closer yet again. Only in need of 1 more game to break Max's undefeated streak and pull this to a 3rd set.
And I think he's well within his power to do so, but he's got to break this serve, and it has been horrific for the poor guy. He's been aced so many times. He must be thinking, how can I counter this? And the only thing I can think of is just spam X.
Well,
and just
the first attempt was not successful. No ace on the card for Max here. Moving very far up, but Josh giving himself a lot of space here to return. He's going to do exactly that. Max maybe preempting that push a little bit there. Plays very close up into the net, not quite able to find it. Josh sitting quite pretty here. 15, love 15, sorry.
And there we go. Max's bread and butter, the ace.
Surprised that wasn't queried there. Looked very close, but just on the line there for this player. Those aces certainly working out for him. This time around, though, Josh getting aggressive on the net. And once again, Adam, I got a question. Why? He's playing so well in this defensive style. It doesn't make sense to me for him to be this aggressive when every single time he's done it, he's been punished.
Yeah, he also just made a massive mistake. He as you know, the classic esports people would say, he bobbed instead of weaved on that one. He went left instead of right. Well, that was very close.
Not quite on the line, though.
No. So second serve for Max.
Trying not to get aced, but all it takes now is one more point from Max to be able to close up this set in order to get back. Josh has to survive 2 of these serves and bring it back on the rally. It's a good start. Rally phase has been initiated. Playing very up close and personal with the net is Max, but keeping his distance once again. Josh playing this very well, exactly how we want to see it from him, but moves up too close to the net. Puts it into the corner. Fortunately, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to have to take a quick break due to some technical difficulties. We thank you very much for giving us your time, and we hope that you understand. We should be back very shortly, but for now, stay right where you are because this game has only just begun.